Hello. Hello. Hello, hello. How are we all doing today? Hello. Who's here? Hello, Potter. You were indeed first. You were Potter. You were here before I was. So fair play. Well done. How are you doing today? I hope you're good. Hello. Something stochastic, of course. Hello, Yoavco. Hello, hello. Hello, M0. Hi, Lankuri. Hello, Teu. Hi, everybody. And hello, Orishiro. Hello. How you all doing? How's everybody doing? I hope you're all good. Wish I could make it to this stream, but I've got medical appointments. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope they go well. I hope they go well. I have no thoughts. My head is empty. I was like, oh yeah, I'll do a science stream today. And then so far I've had no thoughts and my head is empty and I don't know if I'll even be able to process the paper, but we'll do our best. We'll do our best. We'll do what we can. Oh, looks like mine might be a bit loud today. There we go. Okay, right, fixed it. No scuff. No scuff. Husband and Modders called it. No scuff today. It's not going to happen. But yeah, how's everybody doing? How you all doing? I'm doing okay. I am existing. I am here. Good. I'm glad. I am existing. I have not been awake for as long as I should have been. I am not going to lie. So, yeah. New cooker. Yeah, we got a new cooker. Very exciting. This is like peak adult. We got like one of those appliances that's like a slow cooker and an air fryer and a pressure cooker, multiple things all in one. And I'm very, very excited about it, like worryingly excited about it. So we've got all of the, ow, I meant to do that. We've got all of the ingredients ready to do like chili. So yes, exciting times. Tayu's dying a bit, but dying less than previously. I'm glad that you're dying less than previously, and I hope your dying stops soon. That's not good. Please don't die. That's not ideal. Hi, Nico. Are we going to go beyond the first paragraph today? I hope so. We'll certainly try. I don't even remember what was in the first paragraph. I'm not going to lie. We might need to go over that again because I've forgotten all of it. Like that first stream just didn't work. None of the paper was actually read. I'm not going to lie. I don't even remember what we did. So I'm thinking maybe, yes, just start again because I really don't remember. Hi, Dory Foxtrot. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's a study about me. I know. It's a study about me too. It's a study about all of us. Conspiracy theories are normal. They're normal. Everyone believes at least one. Well, most people believe at least one, even if you don't think it is. Yeah, they're a normal type of cognitive process. They are a normal narrative that we all agree with at some point. It's just whether or not you believe in the very specific nature of that conspiracy. So, with that being said, we shall read the paper, I swear. I swear. I think my heart is stopping, but I want to watch the stream. Also, breathing is kind of hard. Please go and get medical attention if you need to. Do not watch the stream if you are dying. This is not good. Don't do that. Go get help if you need it. Oh my gosh. Won't be able to stay, unfortunately. No. Oh, well, thank you for dropping by anyway, Nico. Thank you very much. Yeah. Lurking until you need to leave is perfectly fine. I don't really believe in ones, even the ones I come up with, but like I'm highly paranoid. Understandable. Understandable. Everyone has things that they're paranoid about, I think. And obviously it's a spectrum, and some people are more inclined towards it than others. Let's see. Let's turn that up a bit. Music is a bit low. There we go. Okay, how's that? I hope that's better. I hope that's better. Yeah, it does actually sound concerning, doesn't it? Please, can we not have multiple people dying on my stream? Please don't. Please go and get medical attention if you need it. Please, please, please. Hi, Sion. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing today otherwise? How are you doing today, Sion? How are you doing? Who else hasn't said? Who hasn't said? A few of you. Let me know how you're doing. But yeah, we got a new cooking appliance, and I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited. I died, but it got better. I have so many questions. I have so many questions. Just casually dying and resurrecting. I'm glad you're getting better. Please don't get Izakai'd in my stream. I don't appreciate that. But yeah, we got a I lived I lived, bitch. Incredible. Yeah, our cooking appliance. I'm so excited. I'm sorry, I need to talk about this. I'm very excited. Right. It's like a slow cooker, but also a pressure cooker, but also an air fryer, but also it bakes like bread. So, wait, it does something else as well. What's the other thing it does? It steams things. It's like an all-in-one. It's so exciting. So exciting. So yeah, we're going to be making a lot of food in it. Large-scale bulk cooking. That's a thing. We're going to do that. Very excited. Have you heard about dengue? I have heard... Wait, I have been saying that right? Dengue? Dengue? I don't know. Yes, I have heard about it. It's an illness, if I believe correctly. And it is rather unpleasant. And I hope that that is not what you have. And if it is, I hope you're getting appropriate medical attention. I'm good. I'm doing some light database cleaning work where databases in Excel spreadsheet. Love that. That's always my favorite thing to do. That's my favorite part of the data analytic process, is just sitting there and making sure all of your cells align. Hi, Nightmind. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for the hydrate and the be mindful. Yes, and the quack. Okay, I will hydrate. Wait. Posture check too. My posture's good. My posture's good. I'm sat up straight. Sometimes I feel like my model makes it look like I'm slouching, but I'm literally not. Like, my back is up against the chair. I am thriving. I didn't get my mindfulness cards out. Ow! Wait, I need to find them. Give me a second. Rummage. Okay. Okay, thank you for the be mindful redeem. Okay, what have we got today? Let's have a look. It's not a quote today. It's not a quote. Okay, let's do our mindfulness thing for today. Okay, so kindness. It's a kindness card. The kindness card says, send a text message or an email to a friend that you've not spoken to in a while, asking them how they are and letting them know that you're thinking of them. That's quite cute. I don't know who I would message. I do this thing where, like, most of my friends, I don't talk to them for extended periods of time, and then I message them, and then it's like a flurry of messages over the course of a week, and then I disappear for a few months again. And they're all used to it, so maybe this is just my sign to send a flurry of messages again. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who... I guess, like, maybe one of my old school friends? I don't know. I don't know who wouldn't be weirded out if I sent that to them. Yeah, it's like a bit... If it's not, like, in your character to do that, it can kind of be like, what do you want from me? It's a nice idea, though. So if any of you want to do it, please do. Send a message or an email or something like that to somebody you've not spoken to in a while and let them know that you're thinking about them and ask them how they're doing. This is a very nice thing to do, I think. Alternatively, you can just, I don't know, like, I don't even know. Message somebody that you used to play video games with that you stopped chatting to, I don't know, something like that. Let's see. What am I doing? We are going to swap into the journal club overlay, and I'm going to do this. There we go. Look at that. A journal article. I swear I'm actually going to read it this time. We're actually going to read it. Look at that. I'm onto the journal article in 15 minutes. Take that. New record. New record. Okay. So, let's see. So, wait, okay, so this is the paper. This is a review article, so this doesn't have any data in it. It's just like summarizing the existing literature. But it's all about conspiracy theories and why people believe them. And it's reviewing, a whole bunch of the existing research on the topic. And I believe they are proposing their own theory? Maybe it's not a theory yet. it might be like a precursor to a theory, an idea as to where conspiracy theories come from, like where this kind of concept that, you know, people are manipulating things and doing things behind the scenes to secretly achieve some kind of evil goal. Yeah, trying to work out where that narrative comes from. Hi Zerkia, welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing? I'm doing good, thank you. So yeah, that's the plan. We're going to be reading this paper, and this time I swear I will actually read it. Because last time we just yapped and I did not actually get anywhere through the paper. Oh my gosh. Do they propose their own conspiracy theory? That's a good question. I would love to know if they propose their own conspiracy theory. I would imagine they do not. They probably just use existing ones. I guess we'll find out. What's a paper exactly? Let's find out. Okay, right. So, for anyone that's not seen a scientific journal article before, they're kind of all formatted in roughly the same way, to be honest. So, hang on, where's my highlight? There you are. Wait, I can draw on it now, look. I can do that now. That's very exciting. Oh, how do I undo it? Oh. Hello? Oh, okay. I just have to manually delete it. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. Okay, so. I'm no stranger to it, having done nuclear physics. Wow, that is a topic. That is a field to study. I cannot even begin to process that. Yeah, I know nothing about nuclear physics apart from like radiation go brr. That's literally all I know. Like, I know about the effects that radiation has on people, but I don't know how, for example, like, I roughly understand the difference between like fusion and fission. One of them is them going together and the other is them going apart, but other than that, I'm just like, no idea. No idea. 3.7, exactly. Not great, not terrible. This paper's a conspiracy to stop conspiracy theories. You know, that's actually a thing that's like discussed sometimes in the literature, is like, could it become a conspiracy theory that researchers are investigating why people believe in conspiracy theories in order to stop conspiracy theories, to stop people questioning the government? That's a thing. That's a thing that I've seen before. And we'll have a movie day on the class. I'm thinking about it, actually. I'm thinking I might do a pilot of the React content on Thursday, but I'm not sure yet. But if not, probably soon, because I'm not going to lie to you, it's low effort content. It's low effort. I don't have to think too hard. So yeah, probably soon. Probably soon. But yeah, for now we're sticking with papers. So, Conspiracy Theories Explained by a Cheating Detection Mechanism by Benjamin Auber-Teillaud, I hope I've said that right, and David Vaidis. Okay, this is a fairly recent paper. I think this is like the early online access version. I don't know if it's actually been properly published yet, but basically journals do this thing where they will put something online, like before it's published, and they'll say it's an early online access version. In all honesty, it doesn't really make any difference anymore because journals are just mostly online now. Like, very few of them have an actual physical book anymore. But yeah, for some reason it's still a thing that they do. But they like to group them together into like issues and volumes and stuff. I don't know why they still do it. It's all on a website now. It's kind of pointless. So, right, let's read the abstract because I've completely forgotten what all of this is about. Oh yeah, but first, wait. So for anyone that's not seen a paper before, they kind of are roughly formatted in the same way. So you'll have a DOI up here. The DOI is basically just a unique number that helps you to identify the article. So, for example, if you've got a massive database of loads and loads of papers, there is a small chance that you might have papers with similar titles, and there is a much more likely chance that you will have multiple papers by the same authors. In that latter case, it can sometimes be hard to differentiate them at first glance, so this just makes it easy to search them and to find them. But also it means that we have one consistent way of linking to things. So you can, with any paper that's like, like reputable, you'll be able to just find it by doing doi.org/this this number. And that will me getting distracted by banning the bot. And that will just consistently lead you to the paper. So that's good. It makes it a lot easier to find. Take that. Go. The next part is the title. So this is the title. Conspiracy Theories Explained by a Cheating Detection Mechanism. It's just a short and snappy way of explaining what the paper does. Up here you can see it's a review article. So that means that they're summarizing existing literature. This is Wiley, the publisher. It's not very interesting. And then here we've got the names of the authors. So Benjamin and David. Shout out to Benjamin and David for writing a paper that we are going to read. What application am I using? I use Zotero. So I use Zotero to manage all of my papers. It's very good. It's just had a massive upgrade and it looks a lot nicer now. It's, yes, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Zotero, please sponsor me. I love them. Okay, let's get rid of those. Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna swap back over to the highlight tool, I think, because it's a bit easier to do when reading. Yeah, Zotero. We love Zotero. We love Zotero in this house. I'm not lying. I'm like the biggest like fan of Zotero. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm like a massive Zotero fan. Like none of the other ones that I've ever seen were like anywhere near something that I felt good about using. I don't know. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. Like, what are the other ones? I've forgotten. Like, EndNote, was that one of them? I don't know. I just didn't like it. The vibe was not, I did not like the vibe. It was not for me. So, yeah. I set up once some time ago, but then stopped using it for some reason. I didn't even know it had these features. Yeah, it has loads of features. It's really good. Really, really good. You did miss a ban hammer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, the features, it's, oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Millennia. And also thank you for the follow, Stormy Kylo. I think that's it from earlier when I was setting up. Thank you both. Welcome into the lab. Yeah, so Zotero has a whole bunch of like additional features. Like they've got this inbuilt PDF and EPUB reader now, which is really, really cool. Like really, really cool. It makes it so much easier to manage stuff. They also have you can pay for like cloud storage also, so you can have the same stuff across multiple devices, which is cool. If you want to be like, you can risk it by like having your folder structure on something like Dropbox and then syncing it that way, but don't really recommend it because it can mess up your annotations and stuff. But yeah, it's got this inbuilt PDF and EPUB reader, and you can do annotations and you can make notes and stuff like that. It's very cool. Very, very cool. What is this? I am reading a journal article about conspiracy theories and why we believe them and whether it is explained by us trying to detect cheating and, you know, unfair social interaction things. I assume. I haven't actually read the paper yet, so we're going to find out. We're going to find out. But yeah, okay, so abstract. Let's go through the abstract because genuinely I don't remember this at all. Okay. Research on conspiracy theories sometimes tends to pathologize this phenomenon with a focus on the impact of subpathological predictors. However, sociopolitical factors also play a significant role in predicting belief in specific conspiracy theories. The aim of this article is to bridge these two perspectives through a unified cognitive mechanism. So basically, yeah, there's two different types of explanations for conspiracy theories. One of them is, like they said, there's kind of a socio-political area, which focuses more on context. So it'll be things like what kind of ideology you hold and what kind of social system you live in and stuff like that. Whereas others are more focused around, for example, personality. So they'll be like, conspiracy theorizing is this type of a personality trait, or it's linked to this personality trait. So one of them's kind of like, it's a product of the situation, and the other's more like, it's inherent to who you are, and it's just how you process information. So they're trying to kind of integrate those two different perspectives, which is very cool. Very cool. We love that. Based on an overlap between cheating and conspiracy concepts, we assume a cheating detection mechanism is likely to wait, what? Oh, okay, that's just grammatically not quite right. Okay, that's not me. Based on an overlap between cheating and conspiracy concepts, we assume a cheating detection mechanism is likely to underlie belief in conspiracy theories. Starting from the adaptive challenges of cheating detection, we explore the workings of this mechanism using signal detection theory and error management theory. The probability of cheating and decision bias, according to the asymmetry of costs in cheating detection, could lead individuals to infer conspiracy theories. This functional mechanism not only explains the links between socio-political predictors and adherence to conspiracy theories, but also helps us deduce alterations that may foster a stable inclination towards believing in conspiracy theories. Okay. So processing information, we're aware of certain types of information. Okay. And then because there's a risk of bias or error, I'm assuming this is saying basically it's riskier for us to be cheated and not detected versus for us to falsely detect cheating, if that makes sense. So it's better for us to like think that there's cheating happening when it actually isn't, rather than thinking that there isn't cheating happening when it actually is. So that makes more sense. So it's trying to put that into context with socio-political predictors. Okay, interesting. I don't understand this language at all. That's okay, I'm trying to process it myself. I'll try and break it down, but this is just the abstract. I need to actually read the contents first. It's about the captain of the SWAT team from Rio de Janeiro, the war against bandits from the drug cartel, and the duality of the police. That is a whole thing. That is a whole thing that we could go into, but good lord. Oh wait, hang on. Can we watch Brazil's Amazing Movies Elite Squad? I missed that one. I mean, we could in theory, but not on stream. I think that would probably be problematic. But yeah, that sounds interesting. This is hard. Yeah, we'll work through it. It's fine. I think once we get into the groove of it and I start explaining things, hopefully, it will start making a bit more sense. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thank you for the ban husbando mod. Thank you. There's a lot of bots today. What's going on? The main character isn't actually a hero. That's the kind of like story that's always fun and interesting. Are you like a fancy scientist? I am. Well, not fancy, but I've got a thingy, wait, that will tell you about it. There you go. Yes, I am actually a scientist. I'm currently finishing a PhD in social psychology, so my research is all about why people believe conspiracy theories. That's why I'm reading this paper. The fanciest? I am not the fanciest. I'm like 0% fancy. I'm like, I turn up to the office and I'm wearing just like an anime t-shirt, and I'm like, you right, lads? Like, it's not a copy pasta. No, it's not a copy pasta. It's just because sometimes people ask, like, are you actually a scientist? And I have a thing prepared for it. But yes, I do actually need to be cheered on to finish the PhD because I'm suffering. And I have to go and write more of it after the stream. After we've cooked our fancy dinner and our new fancy 15-in-1 appliance. I have to go write more PhD, unfortunately. So, yeah. Look at the embroidering on that breast pocket. I know, it's so fancy. It's definitely not something that I drew very rapidly at 2 a.m. Oh gosh. One day I will have like a fancy live 2D model and it will actually look like embroidering and it will be very nice, but today is not that day. Not yet. Right, the thesis is the worst part. It really is, because it's like, it's just so long. Like it's a PhD one, so it's long. You know, it's like, I think the cap is 80,000 words. I'm not aiming for that, but it's going to end up being more because I've got so many like additional like appendices, like additional bits of information that go on it, which is painful, but yeah. like 300 pages, something like that. I don't even know anymore. I think most of my chapters are like 50 pages long, I think. So yeah, that sounds about right. What I like is when a conspiracy theory comes true and then no one cares, like data collection becoming invasive. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? This is a thing that I think about a lot because like my research is obviously looking at conspiracy theories, but like how do we assess when something goes from being a conspiracy theory to like a conspiracy fact? Because, you know, in science, we have a theory and we're like, you falsify it with this data. In a lot of conspiracy theories, there's no way to falsify it. Like some of them you can just straight up just like prove or disprove and it's fine. But like a lot of them, they're very vague and you wouldn't be able to access the information to prove or disprove it fully. And that's the thing that makes them so interesting to me. They're almost like in this cognitive limbo, I guess, because you can never really know. But then if you get too deep into it, then you start wandering down the philosophy route of like, what is truth? How do we define knowledge? Who gets to decide what is true and what is not true? And that's something that I have written exactly one paragraph about and then gone, this is beyond the scope of this thesis because I don't want to do philosophy. So, yeah, that's the thing that happens in every thesis though. Like you have to go into weird like philosophical stuff and then say, but that's not for today. That's a problem for someone else. Oh, the longest I've written is 15 pages. Yeah, that sounds about normal. I think most people don't write excessively long books. I enjoy writing and it's a big part of my job. So I don't even want to know collectively how many pages I've written across my career, but I mean, you know, not everybody has to. Bio thesis, yay, nice. We love bio. I don't know much about it though. I did like introductory neuroscience and that was it. Mass data collection's been around since early 2010 once compute speed came around. This is true. It's been a thing for a while actually. Yeah. But like in various different platforms as well. Is this stream a conspiracy theorist group? Anime scientists are real. We can prove that. Exactly. The anime scientist can't hurt you. The anime scientist can't hurt you. I love that. Okay. You don't want to do philosophy? No, I actually do. The thing is, I actually do. I really enjoy it. I find it really interesting. But like, if I went into the philosophy of like, what is truth, for example, like, how do we define truth? Who gets to decide what is true and what is misinformation? How do we get to decide what's a conspiracy theory and what's a conspiracy fact and what's just a narrative and what's reflecting reality? If I went into all of that, it would like be a whole thesis in itself, and it wasn't worth it. It's not worth it. So I've basically just said like, this is a thing to consider. Here is a few other papers that discuss this, but I cannot discuss this right now. So yeah. Did the quack play? I didn't hear it, but my volume is really low. It might be that my volume is really low actually. I might have just not processed it also. The duality of science. I'm not tapping into this. I'll leave it to someone else. Exactly. That's not my area of research. That's someone else's problem. Meanwhile, me putting philosophy in my bachelor's thesis without anyone even asking me to. So nobody's asked me to do this either, but I just feel like it's important to include it as like at least an acknowledgement. But like, yeah, I don't know. The thing is, if I go into it, I don't think this is anything to do with what's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do when writing a thesis. But like, if I go into it, I'm going to get too into it. And then I'm going to write a whole thesis about something totally irrelevant to my thesis. Well, it's not irrelevant, but like, it would end up being a whole chapter. So I'm trying to like rein myself in, basically. All we know about bio is that Bobo won't let us have the forbidden brie. This is true, and it makes me sad. I want to eat the forbidden brie. Yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy forbidden brie. There's people who are irrational, even people with mental conditions that come up with conspiracies. Like a lot of narcissists come up with some. But Then there's trying to sense flaws in systems and where you could be screwed over. Yeah, exactly. No, it's okay. Don't worry with the spelling. It's okay. This is the thing. This is the thing. I've discussed this also as part of my philosophical background section, which is like a lot of what's decided to be truth. It's basically just based around institutions that have power, right? But those institutions haven't always acted in the best interests of the public. So, given that there is an actual history of conspiracies occurring, conspiracy theories themselves should not be pathologized. But there comes a point where, like, the institutions are saying this, but then you can also verify what they're saying. And that is where it starts to become problematic. So, like, for example, I don't know, take most of the science-based conspiracy theories, to be honest. Like, I don't know, flat Earth, let's say flat Earth. Flat Earth, you can literally verify it yourself. Like, with the right equipment, you can do it yourself. You can verify that the Earth is a sphere, right? But even when people do those experiments and get the results showing that the Earth is a sphere, they sit there and they say, but the Earth is flat. That's when it starts to become problematic, because that moves from, like, you know, understandable and probably healthy questioning of authority to just blanket denial of the evidence that is right in front of you. And that's the point where it's more ideology than, like, coherent belief that, you know, accounts for nuance in the world and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the distinction that I find a really interesting one. But I should say that conspiracy theories are not, like, just a thing, you know, that is linked to mental health problems. If anything, like, you know, that's a tiny minority of the people that believe them. You know, the distribution of people that... Oh, I nearly knocked over my drink. That was dangerous. Basically, you can find some level of conspiracy theory belief in most of the population. Like, people with, you know, no mental health difficulties whatsoever, yeah, they can hold them too. It's more like what conspiracy theories people tend to hold. That being said, whack, yes. Hi, Zero! Hi! How are you doing? I hope you're good. Yeah, it's more like how strongly they hold the belief and whether it's interfering with their ability to navigate the world. That's when it starts to become a problem. Who decides what's knowledge? How do you know there's a who? Oh gosh. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Write something irrelevant to your thesis. More like write a supporting article to be published. This is the thing, right? I have, like, an entire bank of writing that I put in my thesis and have had to remove for various reasons. And I'm like, that's another paper. Or I could develop that into another paper. But yeah. That's why Brazil had to run to catalog a bunch of plants from here. An American farmer stole a sample of a plant and patented it so that others couldn't use it in research here in the medical field. Yeah, I've heard about that, actually. That's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah. Back in my day, our conspiracy theories were that women are people and that they do feel pain. Back in my day, in the 1600s. There are some... Okay, actually, on the topic of philosophy, there's, like, some really wacky old takes in philosophy. Like, there's, like, this one, I think this German philosopher whose writing is, like, so wacky about, like, women specifically that it's actually, like, funny. Like, it horseshoes round into being funny. Like, if you read it seriously, it's like, oh my lord, this is terrible. But, like, because it was so long ago, I think you have to take a lens of, like, obviously this doesn't reflect our current times anymore. So you can try and read it as, like, imagine if this was ironic. That's how I cope with things that bother me. Just pretend it's funny. And eventually it will be funny. Oh my gosh. There's a lot about whether we should trust authorities and such. Very interesting. Yeah, there's like a really good literature on it. I haven't really like delved into it properly, but the stuff that I have read is super, super interesting. Super interesting. Schopenhauer, that's the one. Yes, it was Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer's writing is so funny. It cracks me up every time. Oh my gosh, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend if you want to read something horribly offensive. Schopenhauer's writing about women. Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Reminds me of Nobel Prize syndrome. Yeah, that is well, I don't know if it's an actual thing, but I have read about it. So that's the thing where it's like people who get a Nobel Prize, basically they just go off the rails. They fall off. Yeah, they stop doing like high impact science, and then a lot of them go off to become like, they either just do like stuff that's really basic, which is fair enough. Like if you've made it, you might as well just do whatever you want to do at that point. Or they like, they completely go off the rails and become like a actual like, yeah, full on conspiracy theorist or like political pundit or something. That is a thing that happens, apparently. I don't know if it's like backed robustly with evidence, but I have read about it. The deniers saying it's cold here, so global warming's fake. Meanwhile, 59 degrees C in Rio de Janeiro. Oh my gosh, 59 degrees? 59 C? No, ain't no way. I was watching the weather forecast, actually, like a global weather forecast, and I was like, oh my lord, how are people surviving in this weather? Like places that are like 45 and above now. Like, what is that? What is that? On the one end, you have too much, and on the other hand, you have to waste too much time proving everything yourself. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Conspiracy theories relates a lot to pet theories in research for more niche ones, or misunderstandings of basic stats for some of the more popular ones. Yeah, that's very true. I do think a lot of it could be like offset with just better media literacy and like stats literacy and stuff like that. But you know, education be educationing. Are we thinking, or is something thinking? Oh, don't do this to me. No, don't do this to me. I know there was one guy on Twitter that was important in biology, started about eugenics. Richard Dawkins. Oh no, not Richard Dawkins. He's gone off the rails a bit. He's a bit wacky now. It was actually 40-40. Okay. But it felt like 62. No. This offends me. I live in Ireland. This offends me. We don't ever get above like 25 Celsius. Like, it's very mild here. And then in the winter, it doesn't get below like 0. It's also very mild here in the winter. We've got like, we're like the peak habitable zone. That's what I think. Oh, and living in 100% humidity. It's bad enough here. Couldn't do that. Media literacy, my beloved. Exactly. Hi, Bobo. How are you doing? We're in the 40s. Ugh. No. Not a fan. I ceased to function at about 25, so not a fan of that. Okay, should we go back to actually reading the paper? It's happening again. No, I was doing so well. Okay, so their idea for a functional mechanism not only explains the links between socio-political predictors and adherence to conspiracy theories, but also helps us to deduce alterations that may foster a stable inclination towards believing in conspiracy theories. So yeah, they're trying to link together that contextual approach and the personality approach. These alterations, in turn, offer an explanation for the links between subpathological predictors and conspiracy mentality. So conspiracy mentality is like, I guess the main personality trait that is researched in this, or like the main proposal for a construct of personality that would explain conspiracy theory beliefs. I don't know. By integrating existing literature, our proposed model sheds light on the mechanisms underlying belief in conspiracy theories and presents new predictions to guide future research. We love this. This is like the most generic way to end an abstract ever, but I do it too, so I can't judge. I can't judge. I really can't judge. Can we watch a Brazilian stand-up show about Brazil versus the US? You can whack it into Psychologists Reacts and we will maybe watch it eventually. I am actually going to start doing those streams, I swear. One thing is how popular crazy theories are. Like, people think that vaccines have nanomachines in them and other things. Nanomachines, son! Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't describe them as crazy. Yeah, I think magical thinking is a better way to describe it. Or like, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I guess in theory it could happen, but again, there's like no evidence that it does happen. So, yeah, it's not falsifiable really. Well, it is falsifiable, but like it's just, what's that? Background noise, confusion. Yeah, no, it's like falsifiable, but it's like there would be no reason to even check as far as I'm concerned. Like, they're not there. Like, do we even have nanomachines? Is that even a thing? I don't know. But yeah, magical thinking, that might be a good way to describe it. I know that there's a whole bunch of constructs around exactly that, around like why people believe things like alternative medicine and like religion, I guess, also some religious concepts, and then like new age stuff, crystal healing, things like that. Yeah. I know that they are meant to play a role in this, but I think it hasn't played a role in the types of conspiracy theories that I'm researching, so I haven't really read into it that much. Yes, more in biotech. Oh, my Zotero crashed. Goodbye, Zotero. Where did it go? What? Was that noise like my Zotero crashing? Is that what that was? Okay. That's disappointing. Me just being like, Zotero's the best thing ever, randomly crashes. That's rude. Oh, look at this new feature they added. If you hover over a reference, it tells you the whole reference now. That's very cool. But yeah. Enough of the Zotero. Enough. How long till Gelman, amnesia, and Dunning-Kruger is mentioned? I don't know what Gelman amnesia is, actually. Dunning-Kruger... I think Dunning-Kruger got replication crisis. I might be wrong. I might be thinking of something else. Papers I read that had magical thinking constructs and the crossover of certain religions and conspiracy theories. Yeah, because there's this whole concept called conspirituality. I wonder if I can find a paper on this real quick. Wait, because I know for a fact I have multiple papers on this exact topic. Let's see. Is this one that I can use? Mindful text. Where are you? Provide me the PDF. There is no PDF. That's a shame. So there's this concept called conspirituality, which is arguing that conspiracy theories and spirituality kind of intersect because they have that they have those shared traits of like being something that you, I guess, is potentially like you can imagine it, but it's not grounded in reality whatsoever, type of thing. But I haven't really read that much into it because it's not been relevant to the types of conspiracy theories that I'm looking into. But it tends to be associated with a lot of like alternative medicine and stuff like that. There we go. Is there even an actual distinction between some things we consider conspiracies and some things that we don't? Maybe it's just a cultural thing. That's a good question. Yes. I mean, there is quite a specific definition of conspiracy theories. I don't know if they're actually going to state the definition here. I don't think that they do. But basically, the definition that we use in research about it is it's a narrative. So it can be true or it can be false. It's just, or we don't know. Like, it's neutral. We don't know. The definition isn't making a judgment about the truth value of the conspiracy theory, but it's defined as a narrative that a secret powerful group or individual is manipulating some kind of event or phenomenon in order to achieve their own goals, generally at the expense of the general public. So that's kind of roughly how we define it. There's an actual specific definition that we use, but I've forgotten it. But yeah. Moth, hi! Hi, Moth. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing? Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, hello. Hello. I am Psydere. Hi, I'm a psychologist. I'm reading a psychology paper. How are you doing, Moth? How was your stream? I hope you're good. Wait, let me work out how to do a shout out if Husbando doesn't beat me to it. There we go. Done it. Perfect. Everyone, if you haven't followed Moth already, please go and check them out. They do like a mixture of games and educational content, just like I do, but their content's about like bugs. It's about entomology, which is very, very cool. Very, very cool. And also Moth is a lovely person, so please go give them some support. I'm good. We played some Cult of the Lamb. Nice, nice. I don't know what Cult of the Lamb is. I'm horribly out of touch with anything video game related. I have no idea what that is. But I hope it was good. I hope it was fun. It sounds scary. It sounds like a horror game. I don't know if it is, but it sounds like it. But yeah, please go and, you know, get a drink and go for a walk and stuff if you need to. Please do that if you need to. If not, welcome to hang around too. You're always welcome to. Bugs, my field's mortal enemy. Why? Why? Because they just appear and just go into the Petri dish and cause problems. Is that why? It's a cute game. Okay, it doesn't sound like it, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. Oh yeah, plant biotech. That makes sense, actually. That makes sense. Like aphids and stuff. Yes, yes, yes. You're just going to be a lurking little guy while cooling down? No problem. Thank you very much for the raid and for lurking. It's very, very much appreciated. And yeah, like I said, go like get a drink or stretch your legs or whatever if you need to. What was I saying about conspiracy theories? I forgot. Oh yeah, is there an actual distinction? Yeah, we have the definition, but the definition can apply to things that are a conspiracy that's been proven, or to things that could, in theory, happen but haven't, or to things that have been disproven. Like, it's just centered on the belief rather than whether the belief is true. There needs, this is such a generic scientist response, but there needs to be more research into specifically like when something goes from being a conspiracy theory into being an actual conspiracy, and like whether how we process that changes. Like there needs to be way more research into it, but it's really hard to do because you can't predict what conspiracy theories are going to end up being true. So you're kind of like just making it up as you go along, basically. Let's see. I am behind on chat. I'm so sorry. Give me a second. We'll get through this. We know that free will is a myth. Religion is a joke, but we're all pawns controlled by something greater. Memes. The DNA of the soul. They shape our will. They are the culture. They are everything we pass on. Expose someone to anger long enough, they will learn to hate. They become a carrier. Envy, greed, despair, all memes. All passed along. I swear I will play that at some point. I swear it. The nano machines inject the memes right into my DNA. Same. Same. I was gonna say some conspiracy theories sound like people's way of trying to explain things, kind of like some religious stuff. Yeah. So one of the main theories, well, not main theories, but like conspiracy theory belief research is fairly new. That's something that you need to bear in mind. It's only been a thing in psychology for like 15 years or so. Like as a proper subfield, it's been a thing for about 15 years. And then obviously it got a lot bigger in the last 5 years for no reason whatsoever, I'm sure. Definitely no global events that contributed to that. But because of that, the theorizing, it's kind of lagging behind the data. So we've got quite a lot of really good survey data around it. We've got some interesting experimental data now, but the theorizing is not, like, we've still got some work to do, basically. But one thing that has come out is a model called the existential threat model of conspiracy theories, I think by Van Pruien, I want to say. And that basically argues that conspiracy theory narratives are used when somebody feels threatened by something, but they don't understand what's happening. So they're looking for a reason to try and understand what's happening, and they hone in on a group of people or a specific individual, and then they just blame them for their problems. So it's basically just another form of scapegoating, but just like more specific. It's an interesting theory, but I'm not sure the data aligns with it entirely, because although threat and conspiracy theory beliefs are... When I say threat, I just mean like a general sense of like something bad is going to happen basically in some area of your life. It's kind of inconsistent as to whether that's actually a causal relationship or not. Not super convinced on that, but it's a cool theory. So yeah. Let's see. Government amnesia is essentially people being skilled in their own field while being terrible in other non-related fields, but still talking about it. So more importantly, it tends to be used if you're, say, for example, a microbiologist reading a magazine and seeing how bad they wrote everything in microbiology, but believing everything said about chemistry. It relates to conspiracy theories and how generally skilled people in one field are awful in other non-related field. That's really interesting. I did not know that was a thing. Well, I knew that was a thing. So especially with like influencers, there's a lot of influencers online who, not just online, but like, you know, I'm terminally online, so all of my examples are online. But yeah, there's a lot of like influencers that will have, say, for example, a PhD in, I don't know, yeah, let's say they have a PhD in clinical psychology, and then they start talking about climate data as though they know what they're talking about. Purely hypothetical example. Yeah, that is a thing that definitely happens, and I'd be really interested to see how that fits in with all of this, actually. Like, whether people are more inclined to believe conspiracy theories in areas unrelated to their expertise. Because the general trend is that basically, the more educated you get, the less likely you are to believe in conspiracy theories, which makes sense because your critical thinking skills go up. But also, the more educated you are, the more likely you are to be at a higher social status, and therefore part of the institutions that benefit from labeling things conspiracy theories. So there's kind of a double-sided coin to that, I think. But yeah, it would be really interesting to see if that breaks down when you're looking at different topics of conspiracy theories. So like, yeah, is a microbiologist, you know, gonna reject I don't know, pandemic conspiracy theories but embrace climate change conspiracy theories? That would be really interesting to look into. Although, that being said, a lot of them do tend to fall along ideological lines. So if you've got a certain political social identity, generally the conspiracy theories that you believe will align with that social identity. So when I say identity, I mean like party affiliations and stuff like that. If you identify as a, I don't know, I find this really difficult to do because I am not I am not in a country where people know the political parties. If you say, for example, you're a Republican, let's say someone identifies as a Republican, they're more likely to believe conspiracy theories that align with that ideology. So, for example, being opposed to climate change and therefore believing climate change conspiracy theories, versus someone that's like a Democrat would be more likely to believe conspiracy theories that align with their beliefs. So I don't know, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Fossil fuel companies are funding misinformation about climate change, something like that, which is a conspiracy theory. Again, the definition of conspiracy theory in psychology does not say whether or not it's true. In Cult of the Lamb, you're a lamb that's sacrificed to the new gods, and the old one revives you so you can fight the new gods. That sounds very stressful. You can build a base and create a cult to get more power. That kind of sounds fun, actually. I might enjoy that. That'd be interesting. That might be something that'd be fun for me to play, actually. I like that. I try and build my psychology cult. Conspiracy theory is just believing someone conspired something. Yeah, it's got a more specific definition, but I don't want to say it again because it's a lot of words and my brain stopped working a little bit. Also, there's an ad starting in 8 seconds. Let me snooze that. Okay. No ad, you're banned. Late, but we do have nanomachines. They're still in the super advanced lab, managed to make a few... So, fancy labs can do it. In the developmental stage. Excellent. That's really interesting. At some point, I want to like go through different science topics and learn stuff outside of psychology because I feel like I know nothing about anything apart from this specifically. You'll get through. It's crazy work of finish a PhD. That tracks with some of my explanations I've seen with my colleagues in law enforcement and military intelligence. Yeah, that probably does add up, actually, saying that. It's weird how much scientists talk about causation, yet basically no one's even sure what it is. Don't get me started. Please no. Please no. Kind of feel like the use of conspiracy theory assumes it's irrational or zero proof. That's the like lay usage. There's a very different usage between like how we use it in day-to-day life versus how scientists use it in their research, which obviously is true for a lot of things, you know. Especially in social sciences, like we have so many concepts that we mean very specific things and then they're kind of taken and something weird is done with them. Like, yeah. I know it happens in other areas too, but like, I don't know, stuff like, I'm trying to think of some examples, like gaslighting. That means something very specific in psychology and it means something very, very different in lay usage. Or, I don't know, trauma. The way that people talk about trauma in day-to-day life is very, very different to what we mean in psychology. Stuff like that. And conspiracy theories are the same. So, yeah. Appeal to authority, my beloved. Yes, yes, yes. We love fallacies. I need to go through the fallacies at some point, really, to be honest. Yeah. Because I feel like I need to actually properly learn what they are. I think I recognize them when they happen, but otherwise I'm like, I don't have a name for this. The more deeply I went down the training hole, in academia, the more I developed the squint, pause, and then look up if something seems wild. Yeah, that's where I am now. I'm like, I read it and I'm like, not sure about that one, Chief. Like, it's even like papers now. Even papers, I'm like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna Google that. I feel like I can't trust anything. So sad. Or maybe it's just like I like to verify things now. I think it's probably more that. I phantom. I guess it depends on how easy it is for someone to spot a BS argument in a topic that they don't know enough to know the real answer. Yeah, I think it's more if you don't know the topic at hand, it's more about like being able to spot rhetorical devices and stuff like that. Or being able to assess whether the person telling you the thing actually has the expertise to tell you the thing. Yeah. Or like whether it aligns with the general consensus that's being built by multiple other experts. Stuff like that. Ireland's divided across Guinness versus Jameson, not Tories. Tories versus Labour. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Although saying that, everyone that I know likes both, so it's not even that. Let's see. Lots of Cult of the Lamb, except Cult of the Lamb's like Animal Crossing, except you can romance, kill, and clean up poop of other villagers. That I don't know how to feel about that. I see. Miguel, did I say hi to you yet? Hello if I didn't. I can't remember. I've developed the opposite instinct lately. This sounds very convenient to believe for someone with my beliefs. Let me check if it's true. That's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing. Always check your own biases. Hi, Lord to Basil. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're wanting to do topics outside of psych, Isaac Arthur is a futurist that covers a lot of science topics. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I like that. Hi, Nep. Hi. Welcome in. How you doing? How are you doing today? I hope you're good. Let's see. I'm so behind on chat. I'm sorry. I'm getting there. Can't stay, but I'm glad I could stop in. Have a good stream. Thank you, Nep. Thank you for stopping by. I'm trying to read the paper. Oh, there's an ad. Okay, there's an ad starting soon. So, because once again, we haven't made it past the introduction or even the title. So, what I'm going to do is let's do BRB very quickly during the ad break. I'm going to go get some more water because I think I need to rest my voice for a few minutes. And then we will read the paper, I swear. We'll read the paper. I swear. We are going to read the paper. I am sick of staring at this paper and not actually reading it. We are going to read it. Okay. Good plan. Okay. I will be back in a few minutes and I will see you then. Hello. I have returned. I have returned. I got some hot water. Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, my throat's kind of hurting and I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing that. That's very bad. I don't want it to do that. But yeah, I literally just heated up some water. So, yeah, I'm gonna drink that and hopefully it'll help a bit. The paper's doing its best green screen impression. True, actually. Very, very true. We're still gonna read the paper. Yeah, we are. This is normal. This is normal. Yes, go write your reports. Yes, yes, yes. Write your reports. At least get some bullet points down, you know? At least get some bullet points down. Yeah, it's literally just, no, it's literally just water. It's just warm water. Because I just want water. I don't want tea or anything like that. But, you know, I wanted a warm drink. So I just got warm water. Is that weird? I like it. It helps my throat. I like it. Don't bully me. Okay, I've got my water. My warm water. Okay. A bit. Oh no. I swear it works. It works. Because, like, water doesn't taste like much. It tastes like it's just neutral flavour, right? So I just got the neutral flavour warm. Okay. You know? It's just as the thing. Okay. Yeah. It's just what more do I need? Okay, you've been told to do your reports, and thus you shall be doing them. Go do them. You can do it. We believe in you. Good job. Thank you for dropping by. See you later. Enjoy the lurk. Reading paper very much. Yes, I am going to do that. Are you gonna lurk too, or Ashiro? No problem, no problem. Enjoy your lurk. Yeah. Get your stuff done. You can do it. Yeah, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's read the paper. We can do this. Okay, so conspiracy theories are stupid. That's a way to start a paper. Recently, with the inflation of conspiracy theories and I know, right? Conspiracy theories are stupid. Bit rude. Okay, right, so conspiracy theories are stupid. Recently, with the inflation of conspiracy theories and the problems that they've caused in terms of public policies, the media, and even scientific discourse has been tempted to reduce the belief in conspiracy theories to a disorder by describing this phenomenon in terms of medical models. So, in psychology, we've got a bit of a tendency to use the medical model, which is this idea that if you are not able to do something, or if you have a certain level of ability in something or a certain level of a personality trait or something like that, you don't behave in the way that's expected of society, then there's something wrong with you. That's the medical model. It's saying that there is a medical explanation for deviations from the norm and it needs to be fixed. And that they're saying the same thing applies to conspiracy theories, which is true, to be honest. As I've said already, you know, there's a pretty broad base of people that believe them. And there is indeed a bit of a tendency in the literature to pathologize it. But the norm is to not think of things. This is true. My norm is genuinely just no thoughts head empty. Like, I just go around. I wish I was joking, but, like, I've had the, you know, like the Pikmin song? I've had the Pikmin song stuck in my head non-stop for a very long time.
Pikachu, has it been 5 months already?
Hi, Metanite! Thank you so much for the resub. 5 months already? I know. That's wild. Time's going too quickly and I don't like it. How are you doing, Metanite? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Mood? Yeah, it is a mood. Yeah, I don't know, the Pikmin song, it's just been on repeat in my head. That, and then, like, I got this YouTube recommendation that was like a song for when you encounter a caterpillar, and that has also just been stuck in my head permanently. So, like, sometimes Husbando will be like, Psydere, are you okay? What's wrong? And then I'm just like, nothing. I was just listening to the caterpillar song in my head. So yeah, when I say no thoughts head empty, I deeply and genuinely mean it. True, yeah, exactly. See? Verified. It's a real thing that happens. Oh my gosh, I need to sort myself out. I wonder what it's like to think. Can't relate. Oh dear. The norm are the real wacky ones. Yeah. I mean, I think everything's unique in its own way, right? That being said, unique does tend to cluster into a normal distribution, so make of that what you will. We need crazy people to keep the crazy people in power in check. That is a take. All good, can't complain. Nice. Love to hear that. Hang on. Wait, I've just realised my face tracking's really off. Let me fix that. What do I do? I've forgotten. Wait. I'm hiding. Bear with me. I'm hiding. I need to I will unhide in a second. Wait. There we go. Okay, that should be a bit better now. Fixed? Potentially? Hi, I'm back. The couple in bed. I bet she's thinking about her problems and PhD. Psydere, caterpillar song. Genuinely, that is literally how it works. I have no thoughts apart from caterpillar song and maybe Pikmin song. If you sing or hum the song, then you instantly switch to normal. That's not true for me. It still keeps going. But like, then I just end up singing it on repeat. It's not good. For me, it's just depression. Oh no, I'm sorry. No thoughts, head empty meme. Genuinely, it's me. How is it that I'm meant to be like a scientist and I'm also just like the definition of airhead? I don't understand how these things go together. Is this gap moe? Normal for how others see it? Yeah, this is true. Not for me though. Okay. Right, okay. Paper. So, wait, let me drink some water. Hang on. Nice warm water. Yummy. Yummy, tasteless water. Okay. In this respect, an important part of research in psychology tends to reduce the belief of conspiracy theories to pathological dispositions. This pathological reductionism is problematic since it hardly explains the incidence of these theories in the general population and thus reduces the predictive accuracy when studying the phenomenon. So this is a thing that we see a lot in psychology. We tend, historically we've had quite a tendency to do this. Yeah. So I guess the kind of classic example that I would think of is like autism. For a long time, psychology was like, autistic people, there's something wrong with them. And then as we've done more research, it's like, actually, autistic people are just like a normal part of human variation. And you see the traits that are quote unquote distinctive of autism across the whole population at a normal distribution level. And it turns out that actually they're quite helpful in a lot of situations. And we've pathologized it. And actually, if you put the right supports in place for somebody who's autistic, then they can live a totally normal and happy life. But yeah, it's a thing that is applied in a whole bunch of places in psychology literature, unfortunately. We are getting better at it. It's something that we're doing less and less. But yeah, we still have a way to go, unfortunately. High intelligence, low wisdom. Yeah, I think that might be... I don't know, actually. I feel like I'm low intelligence, low wisdom. I'm just very good at like making it up as I go along. Although I guess that in itself is a sign of intelligence, probably. I don't know. I don't understand how like I can sit here and like pull together all of this data and like all of these papers that I've read into a cohesive whole argument and write it down nicely and then go away and genuinely have like 4 hours where nothing goes through my head except like the caterpillar song and I kind of want some food now. And that's it. Like, I don't understand how those things coexist, but that's how my brain works. It's fine. I feel like this is actually a thing that like, I don't know, I think about it sometimes. I am a head scientist. I just need to accept it. I think of nothing except complex psychological phenomena and song. Okay. Caterpillar theories are stupid. They are not. I love caterpillar. They're so cute. I love them. Okay. Particularly, the temptation to reduce conspiracism to a phenomenon peculiar peculiar. Blah, 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 blah. Particularly the temptation to reduce conspiracism to a phenomena particular to conservatives because of a supposed paranoid style is confronted with recent contradictory data. These recent research show that individuals adhere to specific conspiracy theories according to socio-political predictors. For example, conspiracy theories that are congruent with their political affiliation, i.e. targeting the outgroup. So remember I said earlier that conspiracy theories tend to align with what you already believe in? That is what it means. So if you're a conservative, you tend to believe conspiracy theories about leftists. And if you are, left-wing, progressive, however you want to label it, then you tend to believe conspiracy theories about conservatives and also possibly capitalists. There you go. That's what it means. Yeah. But for a long time, the literature just focused on those conspiracy theories held by right-wing people. I think that this might be a combination of the fact that, there's different levels of how much conspiracy theories get attention in the media, and right-wing ones tend to get a bit more attention, which makes sense when you look at who owns the media in large chunks of the world, or where viewership numbers tend to go and the ideology aligning with that. Makes sense. But there is probably also a bit of a tendency for social psychologists specifically to be more interested in that because of that, ironically, because of that intergroup dimension, the whole targeting the outgroup thing. There is a lot of evidence coming out that shows that social psychologists in particular... Beep. Yes. There is a lot of evidence coming out showing that social psychologists tend to be left-wing politically. They tend to lean left-wing. So there may be a little bit of an intergroup element occurring when they're more interested in studying the right-wing conspiracy theories and seeing them as problematic, which is kind of ironic, but kind of funny. But yeah, if you look at the research literature, there's so many words, so many papers dedicated to conservative conspiracy theories and basically none about left-wing conspiracy theories, which is really interesting, but it's starting to change. We're starting to take a better, more cohesive approach. Yeah, that's good. You have high riz? No, I don't. I have terrible riz. My riz is I walk up to somebody and I'm like, hello, would you like to hear about my favorite research paper? Hello. Would you like to spend 2 hours talking about this very specific Pokemon mechanic? That's my riz. It's not good. Didn't know conspiracism was a word. It is indeed a word, yes. I think it's more of a word that's used in the literature though, but yeah, it's used to describe when people believe conspiracy theories. I'm not really that keen on it because it kind of makes it, I don't know, it makes it sound like a kind of distinct action or a distinct trait rather than just being part of normal variation. So I tried to avoid using it. Beep, yes. The beep. I'm blaming BreadTube for that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I've never really thought about that much. BreadTube is interesting. All the right-wing conspiracy research papers. Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's that. Because I don't really know that many researchers that spend an excessive amount of time watching BreadTube video essays. I think it's more that I think it's kind of a selection bias, a self-selection bias. If you're interested in, say for example, you've got a you tend to lean left-wing, you tend to, I can do it. Say for example, you tend to lean left-wing, so you care about social justice stuff, so you want to do work that furthers social justice, well then you're going to lean more towards something like social psychology because it kind of naturally fits that. Versus if you're I don't know, if you're more conservative leaning and you prefer structure and, tradition, and you think that the free market is really important, then chances are you're probably going to be more inclined to go into something like economics. So yeah, I think I think social sciences tend to have a little bit of self-selection in that way. It's kind of a shame because I feel like there's a lot that different approaches could learn from each other. But yeah, I don't know. I'm left-wing, and left-wing conspiracy theories are far more interesting because I don't really spot them as that, but it works under the psychology definition of conspiracy theory. Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. Like, the one that I said earlier is like oil companies funding disinformation about climate change to stop people wanting renewable energy, for example, or to stop, people caring about climate change. Like, that is a conspiracy theory under the definition. But there is also evidence that it has actually happened. So, yeah. I think if you just if it's part of your political worldview, first of all, you're probably more inclined to look into whether it's... Possibly you're more inclined to, just take it at face value rather than assess it, versus, if it's something that you disagree with, you've got more of a motivation to actually look into it and find out if there's any issues with it. So a bit of confirmation bias, basically. But yeah, I'm sure that there's plenty more. I think the ones that I've seen in research so far is in the UK context anyway, is the theory that there was a organized conspiracy in the right-wing press to prevent Jeremy Corbyn being elected as Prime Minister. That was one I saw. And there's also been some around unions, preventing corporations preventing I can do it. Corporations preventing unionization through divide and conquer tactics. So for example, using diversity, equity, and inclusion to make people from different racial groups or from different gender groups hate each other, basically. To try and prevent them uniting as workers. But yeah, there's a few that I have seen, but yeah, they've not received nearly as much attention. And I kind of wish they had, because I find it really interesting. I would love to know the difference between them. Hydrate, thank you. Thank you, Lord Terrazzo. I would do that. On selection for fields, mine is predominantly women, which is wild, to the point where I was a speaker and they stopped me because they thought I was confused instead of the speaker. That's so interesting. Social psychology is also predominantly women. But I'm kind of between social psychology and another field, which is more gender balanced / leaning towards men. So, yeah. Mixed experiences, to be honest. Mixed experiences. We know that they lobby for more oil use. That's very easy to see. Yeah, it is. And I think that's the thing, right? Sometimes if it's something that you just think makes sense, then adding the conspiracy theory layer on top of it doesn't, or if it's attached to something that you know is true, then adding the conspiracy theory layer on top of it is less difficult because there's already an association to be made there. But yeah, paper. I keep yapping, but it's about the paper topic, so it's fine, I think. I think it's fine. Grain of truth makes the lie easier. Exactly. That's exactly it. And then also if it's a grain of truth that also happens to align with what you already believe in, then that makes it even easier. So yeah. Okay, so where are we at? So in other words, apart from pathological predictors such as paranoid ideation generating a global conspiracy mentality, I was trying to process if that meant global conspiracy as in a mentality about a global conspiracy, or if it meant conspiracy mentality that applies globally. I think it's the latter. But in other words, apart from pathological predictors such as paranoid ideation generating a global conspiracy mentality, socio-political factors are also likely to determine the belief in specific conspiracy theories. In summary, two approaches are juxtaposed in the literature. On the one hand, an approach that focuses on the link between pathological or sub-pathological predictors and a general disposition to conspiracy theories. And on the other hand, an approach that focuses on the link between socio-political predictors and the belief in specific conspiracy theories. Yeah. So the specific beliefs that align with, generally that align with your political opinions, they tend to be about specific things versus a general tendency to think that somebody is manipulating something behind the scenes. So I guess this is kind of like, almost like trust, right? This is almost like, yeah, the first part is almost like trust, how much you trust institutions or how much you trust people in power. And then the second part is like whether you believe specific political narratives. Because most conspiracy theories are political in some way. Not all of them. The Avril Lavigne one isn't, but most of them are political in some way. My thing is conspiracy theories, even when people try to be rational, just sound natural. When people can be deceitful and hide their tracks, it's like a highly intelligent, self-aware narcissist. They know how to cover all the signs that they're a narcissist and do not seem like they're doing something wrong. So, do you mean like in the sense of like, do you mean in the sense that the conspiracy theory narratives sound natural or that it's natural to accept them? Because I think that both potentially could be true. I think they kind of like overlap, right? A need for defense? Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. I do think that conspiracy theory narratives do definitely tap into something that we feel quite viscerally, I guess is the right word. Humans are very, like, we're social creatures, and so we're very well adjusted or attuned. We're very well attuned to detect when people are treating us badly or when things are unfair. I guess that's probably where they're coming in with this, with the cheating detection mechanism. So, yeah, and especially if you've had a history of experiencing people being deceitful, even, or if you've experienced people, doing something and then pretending it didn't happen or covering it up or somehow, then yeah, that could probably make you more inclined. This is the interesting thing, is that there's not really, like, there's this kind of pathological approach to it, but then there's not really like a holistic trauma-informed approach to it, which is probably something that would be quite useful to do. Or if there is one, I haven't seen it. I've seen like 1 or 2 papers starting to go into the clinical psychology, but they still tend to take quite a pathological approach. Interesting. I do not know. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. So, these 2 focuses, the pathological thing, disposition approach, and the socio-political approach, contextual, should lead us to question whether socio-political and pathological predictors could be integrated within a common cognitive mechanism. Yeah, because doing this whole like, oh, it's this thing, no, it's this thing, it tends to especially in social sciences, we tend to devolve into that a little bit. It's very easy to do, to just like pick a camp and be like, I think that this is a thing, this makes sense. But that isn't good science. Unless it's like there's very, very robust evidence for one or the other. Then it makes sense to some extent. But like in general, when it's a developing field like this specific topic, it makes more sense to kind of be like, okay, how can these be integrated together and how can we define clear boundaries where it does apply and doesn't apply? In other words, we feel it's necessary to examine cognitive mechanisms, how they work, and their potential alterations to account for the link between pathological predictors and a general mentality of conspiracy theory beliefs on the one hand, and a link between socio-political predictors and belief in specific conspiracy theories on the other. Very cool, very interesting. We like that. So, is there anything important here that I should highlight? I don't think so. Okay. Right. To address this gap, we propose in this article to integrate pathological predictors and socio-political predictors within a unique cognitive mechanism. Among other things, in a functionalist view, we consider that the belief of specific conspiracy theories can constitute adaptive outputs depending on the information available and a mechanism that processes the information correctly. Okay, so they're saying that in some situations, a conspiracy theory is helpful because it can help you identify conspiracies that are actually occurring. Hope you have a great stream. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for dropping by, Meta Knight. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good night too. Yeah, so okay, so yeah, taking this approach of sometimes it's helpful, some situations it's helpful. Okay. From the description of the current functioning of the mechanism, we can deduce alterations that would potentially give rise to general non-adaptive mentality of belief in conspiracy theories. So I guess they're kind of saying how that helpful and adaptive mechanism for identifying conspiracies that are actually potentially happening then generalizes to a general tendency to believe in conspiracy theories about anything. Okay. I can see where they're going with this. More fundamentally, with a focus on cognitive mechanisms, the proposed model fits with the existing literature, but also offers new mediation hypotheses to investigate belief in conspiracy theories. Finally, we believe that by focusing on cognitive mechanisms and describing their normal functioning and inferring potential alterations, the present theoretical work could open the way to unify a set of determinants of conspiracy theories, sociopolitical and pathological, in a parsimonious proposal that is minimizing the number of parameters without losing predictive accuracy. Words. That's just a lot of fancy way to say, like, yeah, it might be better. Might be a better theory. Pretty good, isn't it? Okay. This makes sense so far. This makes sense. I can see how this is like a useful thing to do. So what do I need to highlight from here? Do I need to highlight anything? I don't think I do. Okay. There we go. Okay. From a conceptual overlap between conspiracy and cheating concepts, we assume that a cognitive cheating detection mechanism underlies conspiracy inferences. This mechanism has evolved to detect deception, but served now here for more socially developed purposes. For developing this model, we rely on the parameters suggested by error management theory. I have never heard of error management theory. Sounds interesting. What is it? Biases in mind reading. Okay, interesting. Paranoid optimist, integrative evolutionary model of cognitive biases, and evolution. Okay, so it's an evolutionary psychology model of cognitive biases. Okay. So yeah, based on the idea that we have evolved in a certain way, and because of that, like but evolutionary psychology is not something I'm good at describing. Basically, like, we developed our cognitive processes in a certain environment, like long time ago. Now, that doesn't necessarily match up with the environment that we have now, but it has persisted. And it can explain why we think about things in a certain way. That's the general evolutionary psychology approach to psychology. Okay, it's an adaptionist extension of signal detection theory. I think I know what signal detection theory is, but I don't remember. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully they describe it, because otherwise I'll be very stressed out. We argue that certain social cues are likely to modify the estimation of cheating and produce conspiracy inferences, either by modulating the probability of the signal, i.e. cheating, or by modulating the decision bias. In this regard, a decision bias strongly biased towards false positives due to the cues from the social environment is likely to generate more conspiracy theories than really exists, resulting in an adherence to false conspiracy theories. Okay. Yeah, so when somebody's... So I said earlier about how they're probably focusing on two things. If you were to be cheated, or if a conspiracy were to happen and you were harmed by it and you didn't detect it, that is riskier than for you to think that there is a conspiracy happening when there actually isn't. So evolutionarily, in theory, it should have favored the former. So yeah, I can see where they're going with this. That makes sense. Under that framework. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to highlight this whole section because I'm a highlighter. I'm sorry. I'm just going to highlight literally this whole section. And then they're proposing ways that the signals could be biased, or that the cheating detection could be biased. I know, it's really bad, isn't it? I'm a highlighter. I'm sorry. But it's so good because Zotero can just like take your highlights and turn it into notes, and it's really helpful. So yeah, highly recommend. Very cool. Okay, so they're going to also propose ways that the mechanisms might change and end up with that general conspiracy theory belief. Okay, cool. That makes sense. All of that makes sense to me. Oh, my throat is actually starting to hurt. I'm very sorry. If I sound croaky at any point, please tell me. Okay. Right, let's have a quick skim. How long is this? Okay. Okay. That's not too bad. We can do this. Okay. Right. So, let's learn about what they think about cheating detection mechanisms and how that might explain conspiracy theories. I'm actually interested. I'm really excited to read this, actually. I think this is really cool. Hydrate, thank you. I'll have some cold this time. Water. It is good. It is very good. Ah, wait. I need to cough. Some of my water, like, it didn't go down the wrong way, but I could feel it was considering it, if that makes sense. You know when you can feel like literally one droplet of water ominously hovering in the general direction of your lungs? That. That. Procrastinating writing my thesis by watching other people do their research. Wow, this is a new rock bottom. That's not a rock bottom. This is still productive. You're learning, hopefully. I hope that you're learning. Please be learning, otherwise I'll be sad. I hope you're learning something. And I don't know, maybe this is information that could end up being helpful one day. You never know. You never know. Okay. Kind of a mood though, actually, because I do tend to like listen to podcasts and watch videos by scientists rather than doing my own research. I'm kind of quite bad for that, actually. Because like, this is interesting and I get excited about it, but also I'm like, oh, I want to learn about other people's stuff now. I'm not interested anymore. You had my attention and now it's gone. Goodbye. I can only retain 4 pieces of information a day. That is a mood, to be honest. I'm very polarized. I either retain all of the information or nothing. Like, I have entire days where I might as well have just not, like, had them because I don't remember anything. And then I have other days where I'm like, I know exactly what I was doing at every single minute. So, yeah. Also, like, when I read a paper, sometimes I can literally remember the paper just, like, instantly. It's very weird. Very cool, though, I suppose. Mildly helpful sometimes. Because I can just write my literature review and be like, oh yes, this paper and this paper and this paper and this paper. And then I go back and reference it and I'm like, oh yeah, there's extras that I forgot about, which is quite nice. People can balance a droplet of water mid-throat. I didn't mean to, it just happens. Like, it just gets stuck there. I don't know. Do you not know what I mean? Like, the feeling of like, there's some water and it's like in your throat and it's like contemplating going down your air pipe, but it's also contemplating being drunk. Is this a thing? Or is this just a thing that I've made up? Because I swear I can feel it. Like, I can literally feel it hovering, being like, you might choke now. I don't know, maybe I just can't swallow. That's also possible. Yeah, but page 50 and 100 citations in, the interest fades real quick. Yeah, I feel that. I think, how many chapters have I done now? I've finished, so I've just finished chapter 1, which is my introduction and philosophical stuff and positionality statement. I just need to add the citations in. I'm halfway through chapter 2, which is my narrative literature review. I finished chapter 3, which is a scale development chapter. I finished chapter 4, which is a survey. I've not finished chapter 5. I've almost finished it, which is an experiment. Chapter 6, I think I'm also done, which is also an experiment. Chapter 7 is also an experiment, but I'm missing most of it. I haven't really done anything yet. And then chapter 8 is a general discussion, which I haven't even started. There's literally like 2 bullet points on the page of that. So that's where I'm at. Like I think I'm like 75% of the way in now, which is very good, but I'm also like, pain, make it stop. Make it stop. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm so tired. Oh dear. It either goes down the proper way or I choke. I may realise I'm about to choke, but there's not much I can do. Huh. For me, like, the period between, like, I'm about to choke and then actually choking is, like, really long. It's, like, 30 seconds at least, so I can stop it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. Maybe I'm just strange. And maybe I have an abnormal level of, like, throat control. That sounds weird. I don't like that. Let's not do that. You don't feel that good right now? You might be back when you feel better. Oh, I hope you feel better quickly. Please definitely, go away and take care of yourself if you need to. My professors have literally told me, so do you want to be a student forever? Don't forget to write your thesis. Yeah, I'm kind of having that at the minute too. I was meant to submit in April, and then we were like, well, maybe it'll be summer. And then we were like, well, maybe it'll be autumn. And now I'm like, well, maybe it'll be the end of the year. But I know, it's really frustrating because I know for a fact if I just sit down and do it, I will just do it. Like, I will just finish it. But I need to just be in the zone and not, like, get distracted by anything for, like, an entire day. And then I'll have another chapter done. I know because I literally did it the other day. But, yeah, life keeps happening. For example, getting a new cooking appliance, which is very exciting. And I'm still thinking about it. I'm so excited. So, yeah. The worst thing I've ever swallowed was a 3-day-old KFC biscuit. What? Not a fan. It seemed fine until I swallowed it because it felt like what I'd imagine swallowing sand is like. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Zotero just crashed again. Wow. I'm taking too long to read the paper and it just gave up on me. Pain. Ordering DLC cost me a whole semester's tuition money. Oh my god, how expensive is it? Also, how cheap is your tuition? I'm jealous. I think that I don't even know how much mine would cost. How many DLCs mine would cost. I think mine would be equivalent to, like, the whole of, like... Actually, I don't know. Oh no. It distracted me from writing, so I have to pay tuition again. Oh, I see. Oh dear. That's like me, but it wasn't a game. It's just been life, Life just happens. Also VTubing. Streaming may have distracted me slightly. But sometimes I was doing working streams and I was writing the thesis on stream, so I think that was good, I think it's balanced itself out. Oh my gosh. Okay, should we go back to the paper? Right. Let's do it. I need to... Wait, let's drink a little bit more water. My throat's not doing too good today. I don't know why. I apologise if I'm like... Ugh. Okay, right. So, a conspiracy is defined as an action that is A, intentional and carried out by a group, B, malicious and in the interests of the conspirators, in opposition to the interests of other individuals, or in the general interest, C, dissimulated? What does that mean? Dissimulated. And associated with deception. I need to look up this word. I don't know what that means. Oh, hello. There we go. Okay. Right. What does it mean? It's a big word that I don't understand. Let's look it up. Define dissimulated. Concealed or disguised. For example, one's thoughts, feelings, or character. A country gentleman who dissimulates his wealth behind ragged pullovers. That's what it means. There we go. We've all learnt a new word today. Or at least I have. Maybe it's just me, actually. Maybe everyone else already knew the word. I don't know. I don't know words. Okay. Okay. Right, this is important. This is the definition. Always highlight the definition so you can come back to it. Because sometimes you'll be reading something and you'll be like, what? That doesn't make sense. And then you realise, hang on, it does make sense with their definition. Okay, right. This attributes overlap with a more general concept, namely cheating. Cheating is also defined as an intentional behaviour that is unfair since it generates an undue benefit to the cheater at the expense of the fitness of the agent being cheated on. Like conspiracy, cheating is related to deception. However, while conspiracy relates to complex social beliefs, cheating detection revolves around a more basic mechanism at a lower level. This distinction thus permits us to rely on simpler mechanisms involved in cheating detection and deceptive behaviour to grasp how these cognitive processes might scale up to support complex social beliefs and group dynamics associated with conspiracies. Okay. Right, so they're basically saying that cheating is the simple babby version. Because cheating can be one person on another person, whereas a conspiracy requires multiple people to be involved. Because there needs to be people, for example, covering something up. So that's interesting. That's an interesting distinction. I think that all of this is fine. I'm going to just highlight this part because this is the interesting part to me. Because it's highlighting why exactly it's important. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Based on this overlap, we propose to redefine conspiracy as coordinated action of several cheaters. In line with this redefinition, in order for individuals to form conspiracy theories, it is logically necessary for them to identify cheaters. This identification could appeal to an adaptive cheating detection mechanism that has to process inputs under uncertainty. Okay, the only thing that I don't like about this is that they've got this hypothesis, which is that conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories, they are the result of cheating detection mechanisms, but they've redefined conspiracy theory to match with what they're looking for. I don't like that. That's not good. That's not a good thing to do. Like, what they're saying about the cheating detection mechanisms, it still applies even with the other definition, so there is no need to redefine conspiracy, I think. Is it a coordinated action of several cheaters? It's more than that, though, isn't it? It's more than that. Because conspiracy theories generally have this idea about it, like, I think they said up here, like, yeah, something it's in opposition to the interests of other individuals or the general interest, but it kind of goes beyond that because it's malicious, right? Cheating doesn't necessarily have to be malicious. Cheating, there can be lots of reasons for cheating, right? People can cheat because they feel like they don't have another choice. It doesn't have to be malicious. If somebody cheats on a test because if they don't pass it, then they're going to be really severely punished when they go home. That's not malicious. That's them trying to navigate a difficult situation. So I'm not sure if I agree that conspiracy could just be straight out defined as coordinated action of several cheaters. Because, for example, if there's several people cheating, if there's like a network of people cheating on an exam and they're all doing it for like some kind of non-malicious reason, then they're saying that's defined as a conspiracy. I'm not sure that does meet the definition of conspiracy. But on top of that, this is kind of also, I don't know. This is also kind of, I don't know if they're going to define how specifically a conspiracy theory relates to a conspiracy, but the theory aspect is also the important bit for me as well. Like, a conspiracy is arguably a thing that just happens. A conspiracy theory is a narrative or a suggestion for a thing that may have happened. So, yeah, not sure about that. Not convinced, not sure. Okay, so they're saying it's logically necessary for people to identify cheaters in order to identify a conspiracy. Which, yes, I agree. I do think that cheating and conspiracy is related, but like I said, I don't think they're the same thing. So that's my main issue with this paper so far, I think. This identification could appeal to an adaptive cheating detection mechanism that has to process inputs under uncertainty. The detection of cheating has already been mentioned as a possible explanation for conspiracy theories, but has not been the subject of a comprehensive proposal. In our perspective, this new definition of conspiracy permits the integration of existing literature under a common mechanism to provide new insights that altogether contribute to a comprehensive model of conspiracy theories. Indeed, while this redefinition of conspiracy may seem like a semantic trick, the link with the concept of cheating opens up the possibility of understanding a broader, evolved mechanism for detecting cheating, which underlies the inference of conspiracy theories. This conceptual connection allows us to delve into the adaptive challenges of detecting cheating and, consequently, gain insights into the normal functioning of the mechanism that potentially generates belief in conspiracy theories. By exploring the normal functioning involved in cheating detection, we can then identify potential alterations that contribute to the conspiracy mentality. Through this reasoning, resulting from the initial association between cheating and conspiracy, we propose a new mediation hypothesis centered on the mechanism, thus explaining links between various factors identified in existing literature and belief in conspiracy theories. Okay, I'm not sure if I have any opinions on that entire paragraph beyond the bit at the beginning. Yeah. I think that this part, it's logically necessary. Wait, in order for individuals to form conspiracy theories, they need to identify cheaters. That bit I do think I agree with, but I would say specifically malicious cheaters. I'm also not sure that conspiracy theories are inherently. I don't know. Like, cheating to me. I don't know. I don't know the actual like academic definition of cheating, so I might be wrong. But my understanding of cheating is that there's like a social element to it. And obviously there is with conspiracy theories too, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, there's meant to be an unfairness balance. That's my understanding. There's like an unfairness element when people are detecting cheating. That's not necessarily the case with conspiracy theories. It could be nothing to do with fairness, and it could just be entirely just like harmful or malicious. So yeah, like I said, I'm not sure about this redefinition. Interesting though. Very interesting. Let's see. The identification could appeal to an adaptive cheating detection mechanism that has to process stuff under uncertainty. So that's the bit that I'll highlight out of that, because I think that makes sense. I'm not, like I said, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced on their redefinition. I think that's a bit of a weird way to do it. And then if you explore normal functioning with cheating detection, you can identify potential alterations that contribute to conspiracy mentality. So yeah, working out, okay, so this is how it works, like in a standard situation. Let's try and work out how it generalizes to other situation. Yeah. So that bit also makes sense to me. Like the kind of looking at what we understand about the full distribution to then understand how things get generalized in one specific situation. That makes sense. Let's replace the word cheating with funny business. Yes, a funny business detection mechanism. I'd prefer that. That would be fun. I would love a whole paper about that. How do we detect funny business? I think that would make papers a lot more readable if they were just like fun like that. Okay. Right. Water. Okay. In sum, we suggest that a general cheating detection mechanism leads to the detection of cheaters likely to underpin conspiracist inferences. To illustrate our proposal, imagine the following situation. People learned that a leader is being accused of a crime, for example, 2 presidential candidates, Donald Trump or Dominic Strauss-Kahn. In this situation, individuals have to decide under uncertainty whether the accuser is a cheater or not, e.g. respectively a former FBI director in the Russiagate in 2016, a chambermaid in the DSK affair in 2011. Taking into account both the probability of cheating according to the information available and their decision bias modulated, for example, by their political affiliation, individuals who detect the accuser as a cheater are therefore... Individuals who detect the accuser as a cheater are then likely thereafter to generate conspiracy theories. For example, the Spygate theory claiming that the Obama administration had spied on the Trump campaign, or a collusion between the Accord Group, owner of NYC Softeel, and the French president candidate Nicolas Sarkozy to bring down DSK. Okay. Interesting. I mean, that's a nice example, I guess, a nice concrete example, but I don't think it, I don't really have anything to add. But yeah, if you think that somebody is a cheater, if you think that somebody has, somehow, manipulated their way into their situation or they're acting unfairly, then it's not really that much of a leap to say, well, maybe they're actively doing something bad and covering it up. That makes sense. I do think that the covering it up is a big part of it, though, and also I think the maliciousness part is also important. Don't know. They're up to shenanigans. Yes. Shenanigan detection. On my way to p-hack the funny business meter. No, not the p-hack. Anything but the p-hack. No. I can't wait to p-hack my funny business detection meter. Yes. Oh, we've got a thingy. Okay. We've got a thingy. A diagram. We like that. Okay. Cheating detection is intrinsically linked to the evolution of cooperative behaviours. In social exchanges, cheating offers an a priori advantage over cooperation, since the cheater benefits from the fruits of cooperation without bearing its cost. To resolve the apparent paradox between the advantage of cheating over cooperation and the stabilisation of cooperative behaviours, evolutionary theory has suggested the selection of mechanisms of cheating detection. In other words, if cheating provides greater benefits compared to cooperative behaviour, while cooperation has emerged and demonstrates evolutionary stability, it follows that individuals must have developed mechanisms to detect and exclude unfair individuals from social interactions. Okay, sure, yes. This is the only thing that I'm never sure about with this kind of thing is, like, they say that cheating offers an a priori advantage, but if one of the inherent outcomes of cheating is that you get socially ostracized, is it really inherently a priori an advantage? I'm not sure, because I'm not sure. It seems to kind of go under the assumption that, like, people, like humans, evolved from being entirely individualistic into being more collectivistic, but, like, it's never really considers the other, like the reverse, which is that humans might have been inherently collectivistic and then evolved to become more individualistic. And I don't know why that is. I've never really, like, read a good reason for that. Like, why is the assumption that creatures were living, like, the early humans, why is the assumption that early humans were living focused on what is good for them as individuals rather than collectively as a group, when we know that a lot of mammals are literally herd mammals? Like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. I think it's just as likely that we could have been cooperative and collective and then evolved to become more individualistic. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, though. Like, I really don't know enough about evolutionary psychology to make a comment on that. The conspiracy would have to be created on purpose to deceive, to talk about cheating, I think. That's the thing, yeah. But again, there's lots of reasons why people cheat, and not all of them are inherently malicious. In fact, you can, in some situations, you can even have like pro-social cheating. And I don't really understand how that would tie into this, you know? Hi, Pax! Capitalism is basic, getting people to work for less than their actual output is worth. So true. Yeah. But this is the thing. I don't know whether like the way that we think about capitalism, like, because obviously a lot of research in psychology comes out of like, you know, Western countries, especially Anglosphere countries, which all use a capitalist model. So I don't know if the fact that because of that, we're more individualistic, or potentially because we, you know, chose to lean more into capitalism because we're more individualistic. I don't know which was the cause and effect there. But like, you know, the individualism in the culture is what drives our assumption that early humans were inherently individualistic. I don't know. That might be a cultural thing. I don't know. Pro-social cheating. Yeah. Yeah, so like you can, so for example, I don't know. Say for example, you have a student who is trying to get a high-paid job so that they can support their parents who are very, very ill and they need to pay their medical bills, and also to help put their younger siblings through university. And then because of that, they cheat on an entry exam for a job. That would be pro-social cheating. Like, they're kind of doing it for their own benefit, sure, but primarily their motive is to help other people. And the fact that the company may not get the best employee for the job is kind of like a side product almost, because their core thing is to alleviate suffering. I don't know, that's the kind of thing that I was thinking. And I think that that's not really accounted for with this so far. But then I think this is a cognitive psychology paper, so they tend to do that. They tend to do that. What if we turn conspiracy theories the other way around? Like, really, government, you think that someone would commit tax evasion and we should fill out tax forms, and you think people will need to investigate things? Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? But again, this kind of ties down to like, it kind of like goes back to that, you know, who is an authority? Who gets to decide what is the truth and what is a conspiracy? Who gets to decide what is the truth and what is a lie or a narrative that isn't attached to the truth? And then like the fact that those same authorities tend to also control parts of the data, like that in itself, it makes it all very complicated, right? It just becomes complicated. Detecting how much you're being cheated out of money is important for survival. Back in the day, it was food from the hunt. Yeah. I think that's the kind of core thing, right? It's just like resources in general, like food. Yeah, food. Mostly food. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Any papers on the individualism conspiracy? That would be so interesting. I would love to know, actually. If not, I will write it. If humans are individualistic, why family? Genuinely, right? Like the kind of like, so like even evolutionary psychologists, they're like, you know, the family unit is like, they tend to say like, you know, it's like a natural, like, what's the word? Like an evolved bond, makes sense, passing on genes, all that jazz. And yet, when it comes to anything beyond the family unit, even if what's beyond the family unit could potentially, you know, improve things for the family unit, there's the assumption that no, you always put your individualism first, like the individual first, and then their family, and then everyone else. But we know from like, well, we know from humanity, like anthropology, when you research stuff in the West, it's sociology or psychology, and when you research it in like non-weird countries, then it's anthropology. But yeah, we know from like non-Western cultures that a lot of the times people's self-concept is not, it doesn't work like that. It's broader, it involves more people, and people think of themselves like within a wider network of people and also within a system. Like they can kind of place themselves in a system more cohesively versus people from individualistic countries, which tend to think of just themselves as navigating a system. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. I don't understand it. Hi, Milkshake Legend. Welcome in. Conspiracy theories are like smoke. Where there's smoke, there's a fire. I mean, maybe. It kind of depends, right? Sometimes you can just like you can see a pattern that you think is there, and then it genuinely isn't. Like, I mean, just think of all of the like visual illusions, auditory illusions, like stuff like I don't know, like Escher paintings or like optical illusions. I don't know if you've seen the one with the like spinning ballerina where she looks like she's going one way and then suddenly she looks like she's going the other way, but it's actually just the same GIF on loop. So like you can, and the same thing applies to patterns. You can think that you see a pattern when it doesn't actually exist. And the same goes for conspiracy theories and urban legends and stuff like that. Like if something's repeated enough, or if there's enough little like nuggets that are genuinely coincidence, then we kind of have this natural tendency to build a story out of it. And conspiracy theories are just a type of story that we like, and they make sense because they're easy to understand. So I'd say not necessarily. There's not necessarily. Sometimes there is actually just, we think that it's smoke and it's actually just like steam. Sometimes we think that there's a fire and it's actually just the kettle boiling. But or sometimes it's actually just a disembodied ball of gas. You never know. Then we have the individual versus the group, because with groups we have people saying that other side is cheating or it's bad, and then you are fitting in by accusing the other side. Yeah, I mean, the intergroup dynamics is an entire thing. That's like what I focus on more in my research, is like how different groups think about each other and react to each other. That's kind of like the core way that I look at this, instead of this is very much like looking at the individual and how they process information. I'm more like looking at groups and how they collectively do stuff and respond to each other and develop their own narratives and their own norms and stuff like that. If humans are individualistic, why does this community exist? Exactly. I don't think that humans are inherently individualistic. I think it's just a function of like Western society. Thank you for the hydrate and posture check, Dead Hyperspace. Also, I can't remember if I said hello to you yet. Hello! If I haven't, welcome in. If you've been here the whole time, I'm sorry. I've been yapping. I'm getting too zoned into my paper for once. Humans achieve nothing without being part of a group or society. Even in capitalism, we need workers to materialize the idea, banks to fund it, farmers to keep everyone fed, etc. Yeah, this is the thing, right? It's inherently a system, and it's a bit weird to like not see that. I mean, even if you're looking at academia, we have this tendency to be like, oh yes, there is this genius person that managed to do incredible things, and then we kind of ignore the network of people that supported them to get to that point. So like, I don't know, like for example, people would think about, I don't know, who's a great scientist in psychology. Let's go with I got nothing. Who's famous? Stanley Milgram. Let's go with Stanley Milgram. So like people think about Stanley Milgram and like, oh yeah, he did these like incredible series of experiments about like conformity and whether people obey authority and stuff like that. But like they don't think about the network of grad students that helped to run those studies. They don't think about the participants that opted into being in those studies. They don't think about the peers and editors who gave feedback on the research before it was published. They don't think about the funding committees who, supported the research and enabled it to happen. But like even beyond that, even beyond the academic system, like you don't think about like the family that supported him to even get into education in the first place, or the opportunities that people gave him to get him there, or I don't know, like while he was working, I don't know anything about his family life, but like, did he have a good family? Were they supportive? Did he have a good network of friends? Was there, other groups of people that were, keeping him happy and helping him going? We kind of forget about all of that stuff, that there's so much going on behind the scenes. And it is ultimately often a massive network of people that all come together in their own little ways to build up a bigger picture. But yeah, things like that kind of oversee it. They kind of oversee it. Oh, you just got here? Welcome in, Dead Hyperspace. Welcome, welcome. Oh, wait, no. You just got there. No. Oh, wait, no, you did. Okay. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. But yeah, thank you for the hydrate and the posture check. I should do that. Thank you. Hi, Variona. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing? I hope you're good. It's like waking up and thanking your liver for being alive. Yeah, right? Thank you. Shout out to all of my organs for processing their stuff. Good job. I guess you can argue a lot of group things could have been done ultimately out of a selfish reason. I don't know. Maybe. But then, I mean, it's probably balanced, right? And very rarely is there one reason for doing things. Like, you know, like, say, for example, my PhD. I don't have one reason for doing my PhD. Like, part of it is selfish in the sense that, like, I'm just interested in it. And it's, like, something that I wanted to do. And it improves my job prospects. But then, like, even then, like, improving my job prospects, that doesn't just affect me, that affects my whole household. And I don't know, the research that I'm doing it because I want to have somewhat of a positive impact on the world. So, and I guess that's kind of selfish, but it's also kind of not selfish. And then on top of that, there is also a group of people that are supporting me to even get it done. You know, Husband being the obvious one. And then also my supervisor. But then also I've got a whole network of colleagues and friends and collaborators that have helped me survive the PhD. And, you know, all of you as well, obviously. I get a lot of emotional support on continuing the PhD from all of you. And that, yeah, stuff like that, we kind of forget about it. But yeah, it takes a village to do a lot of things. And this kind of approach to psychology kind of overlooks that. And obviously I'm massively biased because I'm a social psychologist, but I don't know, it annoys me. It provides me some mild annoyance. So yeah. 2024 is at an all-time peak for individualism though, and individualism will continue to rise. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen any information or data about how things are changing over time. I have seen stuff about how, like, narcissistic personality traits are changing over time, but the difference seems fairly small across cohorts. And I don't know anything about, like, you know, country level comparisons. So I don't know. But the fact that we're trending towards individualism and away from collectivism, like, I don't think it inherently implies that collectivism is the default, but it really makes me question why we don't consider that collectivism may be the default, you know? Let's see. In my opinion, individualism divides society. People don't see the importance of the group, which can make creating a union or getting a group to work together for the betterment of the whole group. Non-zero-sum games are harder to build when everyone only wants what's best for them alone. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? It is interesting. Both, like, it's a spectrum. I think, well, people say that individualism and collectivism are a spectrum. I don't even think that's true. I think they're like separate axes. Because I think that you can simultaneously be like individualistic and collectivistic. I think it's possible to do both. But that's not based in any research. That's just my personal opinion. Because, like, if I look at, for example, I don't know, if I compare, like, purely anecdotally, this is purely anecdotal, but, like, if I compare the US to, like, parts of Europe to parts of Asia, like, it's not like Europe is exactly in the middle. Like, there are parts of Europe where, I mean, like, for example, like Southern Europe, where, like, your social network is very, very important. You have a really big extended family network, for example. Actually, Ireland's the same. So, like, here, loads of people have really, really extensive family networks, and that is a really, really important part of their self-concept. Whereas in the UK, it's more like it's just you and your immediate family, and then, like, everyone else in your family, you you barely even consider them your family a lot of the time. or rather I should say in England, that's specifically in England. But then, like, my understanding is that that's different from having that group be part of your self-concept is also still different from, like, thinking about your place in society. So maybe it's more that, like, there are sub-axes of collectivism and individualism. Because, like, I don't know, I feel like British people are generally individualistic in the sense of, like, prioritizing themselves and their immediate family rather than, you know, having their extended family be a part of their self-concept. But at the same time, they're also they tend to be very aware of where they are in the social hierarchy and, like, where they fall in a broader, like, societal system level, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's, like, different subdimensions, and, like, kind of lumping it all together into a dichotomy is not very helpful, I think. It loses a lot of the important nuance, which is generally true for a lot of things, to be fair. The pattern part isn't like when a family member gets pregnant and then suddenly you start seeing many more pregnant people on the street. Yeah, because it, like, primes you to be thinking about it, right? So, like, yeah, if you start noticing something because of an event in your life or something, then yeah, you start to see more of it. It's also like how if somebody has, like, an experience that they interpret as being religious, then they're more likely to start seeing religious symbolism in more things. Yeah, it's very similar. Okay, I think I've caught up now. I guess you can argue a lot of group things could have been done. Oh, I read that already. Blech. Yes. Yes, but maybe no. Also, Variona, did I say hello to you yet? I'm sorry, I don't know if I did. Hello! I'm just waffling. Tribalism, yes, exactly. Exactly. Also, I know that yapping is, like, the word for when you just go on and on and on and on as a streamer, but, like, a Britishism is saying that it's waffling. And I used to say that at the beginning, and then I switched to yapping because more people understood it, but I might go back to waffling because I kind of like it more. I need to emphasize my Britishness. It is a very important part of my self-concept. That was a joke. But, like, a lot of people want to be a group, but modern life sways you to be individualistic. I don't know if it's that it sways you to be individualistic, or if it's more that, like, the way that a lot of Western societies are set up just, like, doesn't really facilitate social contact very much. Because, yeah, obviously, like, I mean, think about the average adult life. You wake up. If you've got kids, you've got to sort out your kids. If you don't, then, you know, you got to do your morning routine, and then you go to work. Except you might work remotely now, but you probably work in an office or in a shop or something like that, or in a hospital or something. But, like, you kind of have to, because a lot of performance is monitored. You kind of have to do a basic level of stuff, which minimizes your chance for interactions. We don't have, like, long lunch breaks and stuff like that here. And then once you're done, you come home and you've worked for, like, a solid 8 hours. You probably have a horrible commute. And then you've got to make your food. And maybe you've got a bit of time to do hobbies or something in the evening, but you're probably quite tired. And also you've got loads of chores to do. And also, you know, obviously traditionally, in the past, historically, there was a setup where, like, you could survive on a sole, one person's income, regardless of what their job was, really. And then the other person would be able to stay at home and, you know, do the housework. And that was, like, their equivalent, and maybe do childcare if you have children. But that's not really a thing that can be done anymore. You need 2 incomes to survive in most places now, in like, Anglosphere countries at least. So yeah, it doesn't really facilitate being in a group anymore, because it's like you don't have the time during 5 out of 7 days, and then the weekend comes around and again you probably have loads of chores to get done because now there's both of you working 9 to 5 and you don't have the time otherwise to get them done. And then that's not even getting started with stuff like, you know, medical appointments and stuff that should really just be a thing that you can just go and do, but a lot of the times you can't. Yeah, I don't know. System. Systems have problems. Stuffed waffling, exactly. You gotta go to sleep because you've got work early tomorrow. Good night, Miguel. Good night, good night. Thank you for the stream. You are welcome. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you get some good sleep, and I hope that work tomorrow goes well. What if we made a political spectrum questionnaire to see where we stand? I don't want to do that. Like, I'm happy to talk about politics from like a social science perspective, but I don't really want to be getting political with a big P, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I'm happy to talk about political topics from an academic standpoint. I'm not happy to talk about political topics from a political standpoint. Not because like I don't think it's valuable or anything. It's just not the kind of content I want to make. It's very easy to like get baited into saying weird stuff, basically. Yeah. You know, if you want to go into a political compass and then post it in the Discord server, you are welcome to. I won't stop you. It's not like banned or anything. It's just not something that's a focus of the stream, if that makes sense. Okay, right. Where did we get to? I went on a tangent again. Okay, this bit. Was there anything here that we needed to... Okay, wait. This part. I think this part was the important bit. Yes, there we go. Cool. I was talking about when we're taking those online ones and we send them and say where we are. Yeah, like the political compass. You can do some really fun ones though. Like you can do some funny ones. Like I know that there are like ones based in like video game and anime worlds. That would be probably quite fun. Let's see. Okay. So, studies focusing on cheating detection mainly investigate the reasoning mechanism understanding the violation of social contracts. Other investigations are focused on one's memorization of cheaters' faces, their fixation time, or their detection based on facial features. To adopt a higher level of generality, cheating detection has been described in terms of general models such as signal detection theory or error management theory. Okay. I think this part is the important part there. Violation of social contracts. Yeah, because like there's an either implicit or explicit social contract, like a contract between two people, an agreement about how things should be done. It can be said or written down, can be like just something that's not said, but people just agree on. Also, different people can sometimes have different beliefs about what the social contract is. But yeah, so cheating detection is around identifying where that social contract has been undermined, where it's been violated. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Where it's been broken, that's the word I was looking for. You broke the contract. Okay. EMT, error management theory, provides a general framework to explain cognitive and behavioral biases. In this vein, Van Prooijen and Van Vogt. Oh, Van Prooijen, that's the person who did the threat model that I was talking about earlier. Suggested that error management theory is a relevant theory for explaining belief in conspiracy theories. Their proposal focuses on dangerous coalition detection, but without specific focus on cheating detection. Okay, so they're looking at the mechanism to identify where there are groups of people that are out to harm us. Okay, that makes sense. Indeed, the association of conspiracy theories with the detection of dangerous coalitions presents a challenge in identifying the cues that enable such detection. In other words, the next question is to identify the relevant cues, making possible the evaluation of the coalition as profitable or dangerous. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, so is it a coalition that we're in? That makes sense, actually. So we're looking at this social group and we're saying, okay, if we're in this social group, can we benefit from it or is it harmful to us? Okay, yeah. In some, the belief in a conspiracy theory or the inference that a coalition is potentially dangerous. Oh, no, it is other. Okay, no, it's other people too. Okay, so other people in groups too. Could be based on cheating detection mechanism in the first instance. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this part about error management theory. These sentences. There we go. Cool. I feel like they have some important bits at the beginning of the paragraph, and then it kind of like goes off a little bit. Not like in a bad way. Just they're kind of explaining stuff, which is good. I think it makes it easier to understand. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. Facing uncertainty, cheating detection must incorporate two elements to make a decision using error management theory. Applied to the current model, the first element is the probability of cheating compared to the probability of the absence of cheating. Okay, so we are comparing what is the likelihood that someone else is going to be cheating, doing something wrong, versus what is the chance that nothing bad is happening. That's what that means. Very simple, I think. Hopefully. I keep hearing aero management theory accent. Yeah, that's my accent. I am unfortunately too British for this. I'll try and pronounce it more clearly. The estimated probability of the event depends on the relevant cheating cues captured by the individual. In the following sections, we suggest relevant cues for judging the probability of the occurrence of cheating, linking these cues to the existence of literature on conspiracy theories. Okay, fair enough. So there we go. That's it. That's all we need. And then I like this little diagram. So social information. So looking at the interaction partner or the group, and then we're like, okay, are there any cues that they may be cheating? If yes, let's work out the probability that they are cheating versus the probability that they are not cheating. Also Bayesian, very cool. And then we use that to make a decision. Are they cheating? Do we think that they have detected something here? Yes or no? And then if it's a yes, then that develops into potentially a conspiracy theory. Versus when there are... Oh, okay, no, not versus. The other thing that we consider is cues on cost asymmetry. So is it going to harm us? Is that it? Like, is there potential for harm versus is there potential for good? And then, okay, and yeah, we make the decision whether, okay, I don't know what this second part's doing. I don't know why I'm trying to work it out. This top part has been explained. This bottom part, I don't. Oh, wait, they just explain it down here. Okay, right. Let's read this and then go back to it. We do funnel model for the intros, and I haven't seen the funnel model tightened down yet. We're still in the define everything phase. Yeah, see, but this is a review paper. So I think it's going to be fairly broad for a fairly long time. In fact, it will probably just be broad generally. I don't know how it's going to develop. They did say that they're going to propose, specific alterations that might affect the endorsement. But yeah, it's like theoretical / review. So yeah. Oh, there it tightens. Yeah, this is getting a bit better now. This is getting a bit more specific. But to be honest, I'm mostly interested in like their take on how this, like the alterations that lead to this. Because right now, like this kind of just seems like a sequential pipeline, and that's not how it works, obviously. It's okay. It only got me confused the first time. Okay, good. If I don't say anything clearly, just say, and I will like try and say it better. I'll try and say it better. There's so much jargon in this paper. A physics paper would be easier to understand. Help. That's a mood. That is a mood. There is a lot of jargon, and I'm a little bit... This is my experience generally with like cognitive psychology papers. They tend to be more jargon heavy because they have more specific definitions for things, I think. But also, I think that social psychologists, we're kind of taught to write things in a more accessible way because people are very inclined to read our papers and think that they understand it when they don't. And that means they're also very inclined to then go away and say things about it that are wrong. So it makes more sense to write it in an accessible way so that it's very clear, no, this is not a thing that happened. This is the thing that happened, if that makes sense. Like the amount of times that I've seen, like, I don't know, even like, I remember actually someone that I know, they published a paper and the paper found, I can't remember what it was, but it was something about like how different groups interacted with each other. and like a personality trait that affected that interaction. And then they found something, I can't remember what it was, like, I don't know, increased level of the personality trait did something. I don't know. And then a publication wrote about their paper and literally said the opposite. They were like, yes, in this paper, they have discovered that this personality trait is associated with decreased prejudice. And it's like, that's literally the opposite. That's not what we found. So yeah, we need to be really careful in that way. Guys, are you conspiracy theist, anti-theist, agnostic, or skeptical? I love that. Obviously, as a researcher, I have to stay conspiracy agnostic. And there is no epistemic judgment upon the nature of conspiracy theories here. I don't know what I'm learning, but I'm intrigued. Same. I don't really know what I'm learning either at this point. I feel like it's kind of half making sense and half not. Also, did I say hello to you yet, Blue Jay? I'm not sure if I did. Hello. I'm sorry if I did already. I can't remember anymore. I keep saying hello to people and then not remembering if I've already said hello. These psych papers are full of jargon. Sweats in metabolic pathway papers. Oh god. Yeah, I've seen your papers. I've seen metabolic pathway papers. I look at them and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I actually just don't know what that is. Like, what are you talking about? What? There's just like letters sometimes as well. It feels like there's just letters strung together and I don't know what's happening. Same with genetics papers sometimes, actually. I look at them and I'm like, this just feels like a whole bunch of letters that you're just throwing in randomly and you're just saying that they mean something. Pain. Incorrect citations tend to happen a lot. Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do. It's a pain. Hi, Nep. Welcome back. Welcome back. A tangent. Since we're talking about cheating, have you heard about the evolution of trust? It has nothing to do about conspiracy theories. Instead, it takes a game theory approach to cheating and trust. I have not, but I have heard of game theory. I did like I had to do like evolutionary psychology during my undergrad and my master's. So I'm pretty sure that I studied that at one point, but I've forgotten what it is. Game theory is like an economics thing, right? I think psychology, certain areas of psychology borrow stuff from economics. And I'm pretty sure that we had to do something about game theory and people would give each other tokens or something like that. Prisoner dilemma? Is this related? I don't know. I honestly don't know anymore. I really want to go back and like go back over my master's coursework and notes and stuff because it would be super interesting to do that. Like, because I've genuinely just forgotten all of it. Like, I've done that thing where I've like, I don't know, like the thing about PhDs is that like, if this is all of the knowledge, hypothetically, and then this is where you start, and then like you kind of get a broad general knowledge from high school, and then you start to specialize as you go into your bachelor's, but you've still got a bit more, and then a master's kind of goes like that, and then like PhD is like blah. Like it's just a line. Like I know nothing about anything except one very, very specific thing now, and it's quite painful. I don't know anything anymore. So yeah. I want to go back and like revise basically like general psychology and then also specifically my master's stuff because I would like to know more about the things that I used to know. I think that would be nice. Maybe I'll do it on stream actually at some point. Isaac here! Update report finished. Nice. Good job, good job, good job. I can now submit it and I'm confident that I know a little bit more about the Toshiba ABW reactor generation 3. That's very specific. Is that a nuclear reactor? That's terrifying. I love that. Oh, you just got here. Okay, good. I'm glad that I am not losing my brain cells to the diagram of suffering. CAMP, insert arrow here, ATP, ATP, insert 6 different arrows, transmembrane something, insert arrow to more vodka. Yes, that's exactly how I understand biology papers in general, to be honest. So many arrows and so many letters and so much pain. Oh gosh. Oh, game theory is originally maths. That makes sense. That makes sense. So I'm guessing it's done the like thing where it's trickled down from maths to economics to psychology, and probably getting horribly misinterpreted in both of those steps. You know a pixel. Genuinely, I know a pixel. I know a lot about why people believe in conspiracy theories, and I know nothing else. Actually, I also have a weirdly extensive knowledge about cute girls doing cute things anime, but otherwise I know nothing else. I need to combine the two in some way. Maybe I need to start, maybe I should write a paper about the conspiracy that there's no men in cute girls doing cute things anime. Maybe that's what I should do. Then we economists stole it and we thought game theory could solve everything, but no, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like my understanding is that economists like to do that. They like to steal things from maths and then just apply it to everything. Versus like social psychology, who are like, I have a theory, source, I made it up. We do tend to just do things. It is indeed a nuclear reactor. Very cool. I wish I knew things about nuclear reactors, but my entire understanding of nuclear anything is like from Oppenheimer. So when I started my master's, a professor gave me some really good advice, actually. It's nice to be a person that knows a lot about everything, but an expert in one or two fields. I found this to be true. Learning more about different fields actually tells you more about your own fields and expands you as a person. Yes, I agree on that. Hard agree on that. Because you start making connections between a whole bunch of different things that you otherwise wouldn't realize are associated, right? Definitely agree. Like, you can't be a true generalist and also a true specialist. I think it's best to be a kind of mixture of the two. I don't know. I don't know what my generalist is, though. I don't really have generalism, which is quite sad. I think this is definitely something that I want to improve on. I think I know a little bit about some things that are vaguely relevant, but I'm not really the best at knowing a lot of things. Like, the things that I know are really random as well. Like, I don't know. I just kind of read random stuff because I'm interested, but it doesn't feel like a lot of it's relevant to what I do, really. Every now and then I come across something that feels relevant, but mostly it doesn't feel like it is, which is a shame. But yeah, I have a few specific things that I want to learn more. I want to learn more about, like, I want to learn how to do maths, like, properly, because I haven't studied maths since I was 15, which was more than 10 years ago. And I want to know more about economics. I think that would be really helpful for me to know. I want to know more about like computer science, and especially like, I think especially like machine learning. I'd like to learn more about that. Yeah. And political science. I want to learn more about political science. I think that, and philosophy, of course. I want to learn more philosophy, especially philosophy of science and theory of mind. But yeah, overall, like, yeah. I'd like to know a bit more about a range of stuff. One of the weird generalism things that I do know is that I know a bit about art theory. I don't know why. And I also I guess I know a bit of medicine, but not much. Which kind of makes a bit more sense, I think, but is also still largely irrelevant to what I do. Yeah. Psychology is your generalism, and your research is your specialty. Half joking. I think that's kind of true. Yeah, that is kind of true. Because I do like to be fair, my research area broadly, my research interests aren't just limited to social psychology. Like, also I think social psychology is fairly interdisciplinary anyway. So like for my research, I have to draw on a bit of sociology, a bit of like media studies. I have to draw on a bit of computer science. I have to draw on a bit of communications research. I have to draw a bit of political science, and then like other areas of psychology beyond just social psychology as well. So kind of true, actually. Learning how to code AI taught me a lot about biology, emergence, and how we view the world. That's really interesting. I can see that, though. I can see that. I feel like it's quite helpful to understand the process, right? Yeah. I also know, I guess I know a bit about like some other science fields as well, a little bit. Not chemistry. I don't know anything about chemistry. That is not an area of generalism. I was so bad at chemistry in school. Okay. So, right. Let's learn about this bottom part of the diagram. Let's learn about that. Okay. The second necessary element in the detection of cheating is the decision bias according to the asymmetry of the adaptive costs between the two possible detection errors, a false positive for the detection of a non-existent cheat and a false negative for the non-detection of an existing cheat. Okay. Yeah, so what are the pros and cons of either seeing cheating where it doesn't exist or not seeing cheating where it does exist? For error management theory, individuals consider the cost of a false positive and a false negative in order to bias their decision towards the least costly error, and thus avoiding the most costly error. If the cost of a false positive exceeds the cost of a false negative, then individuals are biased towards false negatives and thus underweight the probability of cheating, i.e. conservative criterion. Consequently, they tend to perceive less conspiracy than actually exists. Conversely, if the cost of a false negative exceeds the cost of a false positive, then an individual is biased towards the latter and thus overweight the probability of cheating, i.e. liberal criterion. As a result, they will perceive more conspiracy than there exists for real. Okay, for real? Okay, that makes sense. So you weigh up the two. I could be wrong in these two ways. I weigh them up. Which is the one that's going to cause me the least problems? That's basically what it's saying. Still not convinced on this, because I feel like this is just assuming that the way that people make these decisions is entirely rational, which is something that I see a lot in like behavior science and economics, and that's not how it works. People don't work like that. People have a lot more emotions and process things based on identity, and this kind of theory just ignores that, to be honest, which isn't ideal. Funnily enough, I learned a lot more about the infrastructure of big energy by learning nuclear physics, because so much of it is we could, but they won't pay for it. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. I think I learned a lot about, funnily enough, I think I learned a lot about like how government works. Not like the people that sit around and argue with each other in parliament, but like the actual behind the scenes of like how like civil service works. I learned more about that when I was working in healthcare, because it was exactly the same thing. You know, we would love to be able to offer this service, but we cannot get the policymakers to pay for it because there is not enough evidence to support it yet. However, the reason that there is not enough evidence is because they won't let us do it. Quack, yes. I agree. Public policy is dope. I agree. It's actually really fun. It's really, really fun. Like, trying to pull together everything and trying to make it work. I find it super, super fun, but it is a bit, I think the concept of doing it is more fun than actually doing it, from my understanding of, I've met a few people that work in that field, and yeah. I would rather do, like, policy briefs and stuff like that, rather than, you know, have to deal with it. Is the sound alerts broken? I did not hear that quack. Did anyone hear the quack? I didn't hear it. Or is it just mine that's broken? Also, thank you, Tayu, for the hydrate and the posture check. Thank you. You heard it? Okay. It's just me being slow to process things, probably. It's just me. I am quackless. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if my thing's broken. It does that sometimes. You're gonna go rest? Enjoy your rest. Please rest well. Take care. You too. Hope you rest well. I had enough credits for a minor in public policy. Again, Zotero? Come on. Please stop crashing. Why are you doing this, Zotero? You're my favourite app. Please don't do this to me. But you couldn't do the minor because of the college you're in. That's so sad. I didn't take any public policy classes. I mean, the way that UK university, well, not UK, the way that English universities generally tend to work is that you choose your degree before you even get there. So, yeah, I went in for a psychology degree and I overwhelmingly just studied psychology. In my I didn't get to choose many classes, actually. They were all kind of locked into psychology. The only ones that I did that weren't psychology, one of them was like a sociology module. One of them was like kind of medicine. It was like neuroscience. And one of them was like theology. It's a bit random. I did a module on like Buddhist theology because I was interested in it. Which also actually is something that's quite helpful if you end up, learning about a lot of therapeutic techniques. A lot of it is quite heavily rooted in some core Buddhist concepts. So that's interesting. We need a doc emoji. I agree. We need a Psyducky emoji. I need to design a Psyducky like character. Zotero sucks. No, I love Zotero. It's just ever since the update, they've done an update, and ever since then it's just started crashing every now and then randomly. It's a bit sad. I take my leave now. Gotta grab my coffee machine in the shopping mall. Go and get your coffee machine. Yes, go, go, go. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you can pick up your coffee machine with no issue. On a similar note, it's like you have to convince every nation on Earth to agree what's the best way forward for energy. And then they have to convince the corporations to do the same thing. And as far as I can tell, it's actually easier to split the atom than it is to get anyone to agree with the IAEA. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, you can see the same thing in a whole bunch of other fields, right? Like, I don't know, pandemics. Like, everyone is just like, yeah, wouldn't it be really bad if there was another pandemic? We should probably prepare for another pandemic. The World Health Organization is like, yes, here's some guidelines on how you should definitely prepare for a pandemic. And then the countries just don't do it. And then, like, even when the countries do it, they struggle to set up, like partnerships with corporations to ensure that things work. And on top of that, then there's, like, the whole prevention aspect as well. And, like, I don't know if you'll know this, but, like, one of the main sources for one of the main risks for a potential new pandemic is animal agriculture. But the animal agriculture industry just refuses to do things that would prevent another pandemic. So, shrug. Shrug. Things are pain. Yeah. It's like any kind of like big existential threat that affects everybody. It's really hard to like get people to understand it because of the scale, and then it's also really hard to get different groups and different systems with competing interests to all work together to deal with it. Yeah, it's pain. Maybe one day we'll be functional as a species. Who knows? Different government bodies usually disagree with each other. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, they'll have different... Even, like, if they agree that the thing is a bad thing and we need to stop it, they'll disagree on the way of doing it. Like, I mean, you see that a lot with climate change discussions, don't you? You'll see some countries being like, yes, climate change is very bad, and the answer to it is nuclear power. And then you'll see other ones being like, climate change is very bad, but we don't like nuclear power. We want everybody to use renewables, but we're also not going to invest enough into developing renewable technology. You should do that instead. And then it just kind of just goes around in a circle. So, yeah. And then there's other countries that come in like, I don't want to. I don't care about climate change. It doesn't bother me. I've got a large land mass and it doesn't affect me. So go away. Or I'm landlocked. It doesn't bother me. So yeah. Even if it actually does. Because it's going to affect everybody. So yeah. That's a thing. Getting things to cooperate is pain. Different federal agencies. I mean, that too. I don't know if that's as much of a thing where I am. Because, yeah, very small country. Project Warp Speed had to be reactivated like 3 weeks ago. Dies inside. Oh gosh. Good luck. Good luck. Wait. What is Project Warp Speed? I assumed that... Wait. My brain processed that as like, your project is now going at warp speed. But I'm now realizing Project Warp Speed might in itself be a thing, and I'm gonna Google it. Wait. Oh, it is a thing. Oh, this is something I don't know. Public-private partnership to facilitate and accelerate the development of COVID vaccines. Ah, I see. Okay. Oh, it's reactivated. Interesting. Ah, the DARPA project for rapid prototyping. I see. Yeah, I think we had our own one in the UK. So I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I feel like it was talking about things was very like continentally locked during the pandemic. I feel like the UK was like, the UK's general approach was just like, let her rip. And they just didn't really do anything for a while. And then they were like, oh no, it's going badly. Let's quickly change. But by that point, it was too late. Ireland was all right. Ireland was fine, actually. As far as I understand it, like, it was not nearly as bad as the UK. And then there was like other places like across continental Europe that just instantly shut everything down. But yeah, I think the UK did have its own version of Operation Warp Speed. I don't know. The system is set up to be able to roll out a full vaccine response to the top 200 threats. That's so cool. That's actually very cool. I like that. Oh wait. The AstraZeneca one. That's the one that I was thinking of in the UK, but that was actually part of Project Warp Speed. Oh, was this like an international thing then? Interesting. I did not know. I've learned something today. As you can imagine, I was less focused on the vaccine development and I was more focused on the conspiracy theories being spread around. Because that was where all of my research efforts were being directed. Okay, right. Paper. My throat is like really hurting and I'm also really hungry, so I think it's time to wrap up now. But yeah, let's see. What was it from here? So, this part I think was important. That part was important. And then I think this part was important. Yes. I can do it. Come on. This part. Yes. There we go. Okay. And then I also like this. So let's do that. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, yeah. So costs or benefits of detecting a conspiracy theory where it doesn't exist versus not detecting a conspiracy where it does exist. So that's what that meant. Okay, cool. And then you're assessing which one is the worst. Okay, got it. Perfect. I think that's a good place to stop because then we can come back to this nice little thing to remind us. Okay, we did get 4 pages in. That's better than normal. It isn't, let's be honest. It's really bad. I just keep going on tangents, but I don't know. There's just lots of interesting things to talk about. I don't know. I like it. It's fun. Beep. Oh, within 2 weeks, our full military system, vaccines, and quarantine a response. Wow, okay. Interesting. That's actually quite impressive. I don't know if, beep, yes. I don't know if we have anything like that. I just feel like, I don't know, everything in Ireland just seems to be vibe-based. We just kind of just vibe. I don't know how to describe it. It's weird. I'm also just a bit oblivious, though, to be fair. Okay, let's see. What should we do today? Where should we go? Let's have a look and see who is streaming. Okay, I definitely cannot hear that quack. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why my quack is broken. Right, who should we go and raid today? Let's see. Let's go and... I don't know. Is there anyone else in science and tech, first of all? Let's have a look. I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff. If anyone has any suggestions, you're welcome to make suggestions. I like meeting new people. Live earthquakes. Okay. Radio live de vacances. Okay. That's in French. Paleontologizing is talking about dinosaurs. We could go see paleontologizing, potentially. Let's see. Oh, someone's talking about psychology, but it's in Spanish. That's a shame. I won't know what's going on. I can't raid into that. Ah, wait. A VTuber. Is that a VTuber that is doing science? Hang on a second. Hang on. Science seminar watch party. What's going on here? That's exciting. Okay. I don't know who this person is, but they're in science and tech and they're a VTuber, so we're going to go raid them. Let's go learn something about someone new. Sure, let's do that. You're sad? Why are you sad? Please don't be sad. Okay. There you go. There's the raid message. Yes. The sussy backpack emote. It's meant to look like Among Us, but the more I look at it, the more I'm not convinced it looks like Among Us. It is a sussy backpack, I think. Okay, so let me set that up. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining. We did not finish the paper again. Classic. But I'm very grateful that you all came to join me whilst reading the paper. I think it's been a pretty interesting one. It's been pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm a fan. Well, I don't know, I'm not a fan. How would I describe it? I'm not sure how I feel about it in general. It's a weird paper. It doesn't align with my... It's not my vibe, I think. It's possibly not my vibe, but the basic premise of like it's cheating detection, that bit I like. That bit I vibe with. Yeah. I can't find what I'm looking for. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. Hang on, we'll get there. Oh wait, never mind. This person's wrapping up their stream. Okay. Never mind. Okay, we're not going there. This is the bit that I struggle with the most. I really struggle with this, like finding people to raid. I'm so bad at it. I dislike calls. That's a mood. I'm also not a fan of calls. There's someone doing fossils. Let's do that. Let's go see the fossil person, I guess. That sounds fun. Sure. Science. Fossils. Fall semester is underway. Paleozoic fossils from the Ordovician era. GeoGym 2006. Yes. Let's go there? Maybe? Let's go learn about fossils. Sure. Let's do it. Anyway. We're going to meet someone new. Random. Let's do it. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining. There's the raid message again. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining. So the next stream is going to be on Thursday. I'm going to be doing my 500 Twitch follower celebration, which is absolutely wild. I still can't believe that we got to 500. Like, I was not expecting that when I started streaming ever, to be honest. I was really not expecting it. But I'm very, very happy that we have. So yeah, we're going to do a little celebration. I will do some karaoke potentially. Do potentially some interactive games. I'm still working out the specifics of what I'm going to do, but if you have any recommendations, if you're in the Discord server, if you have any suggestions for what we can do, I would love to hear them. If not, you can also just like, you know, ping me on Twitter or something. I don't know. But yeah, I will see you all hopefully on Thursday and we will have a party and it will be fun. And I might even bring out the cat ears if you're lucky. So yeah, thank you for joining and I'll hopefully see you then. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye-bye.